Self perfected.
Let's go! Come and get the news, get some common sense too. Breaking through the filter that's been clouding the view. Step out the algorithm, take back control. No bias, no opinion, just pure gold. Tune in, wake up, it's time to reflect. What's best for all is what we dissect. No spins, no games, just the truth in your ear. Self-perfected, making things clear. So if you're ready to see and you're ready to choose, come and get the news with the common sense view. Self-perfected, making things clear.
I want to make one thing clear.
What's that?
We just broke off another hundo.
Oh,
Self-perfected, making things clear.
breaking them off,
300
breaking them
weeks
off.
in a row.
Oh yeah,
Basically.
they do. We do say that in the theme song.
Don't you remember when we were recording that in the studio?
Yeah.
Do you not remember?
I remember when we
kinda
had,
like you're kind of like Lil Wayne. You just get like really under the influence of the music, and you're just spitting bars.
Actually, it was Lil Wayne in the studio, if you recall.
oh yeah,
That's
Yeah.
what he actually sounds like.
Yeah,
when
we
he's-
had Lil Wayne in there.
when he's sober.
Kanye. This was pre HH guys, so
Yankee, Daddy Yankee was in there.
yeah, yep. Oh, 100,000 gex,
Yes, Limp Bizkit played the guitar.
Gex.
1,000 gex,
1,000 Gex was on there.
300 gex.
Hey, did you guys hear the
times.
new? I know I sent it to Drake, and he had the exact same thought I had.
Uh-oh.
I sent him the. It was fucking what's that guy? The black dude, the rapper that everybody loves that they hate. Kanye West. His
Oh, that
daughter.
guy.
Northwest.
Oh, I saw there's a new album, right? With someone?
Yeah, with Lil Wayne's son.
Is it his son?
No,
Yeah.
really, Lil Wayne's son?
What's his
Lil
name?
Wayne's son.
Littler
Little
Wayne.
Wayne.
Little.
High five, Jake. Guys, when we started this podcast, we didn't even have kids. Well, me and Drake didn't. So our dad jokes have cranked up 300 notches.
Can you imagine when we have grandpa jokes?
I can't
man.
even imagine it. It's beyond my current programming.
Anyways, yeah, there was like a music video I saw on X with Northwest and Littlest Wayne, and I sent it to Drake, and he had the same thought. He was like, "This is basically 100 Gex." I mean, I don't think it's exactly what he said.
Oh, really? But it's that
Like
style?
you could tell
Yeah.
that it was definitely influenced by. It's like
Really?
that. I don't know what you call that style. There was
He
something
called
about
himself-
it. There was something about it that was like,
hyper
yeah,
pop.
that's-
I've,
He called
Yeah.
himself
had to look
Lil
it up.
Novi.
Hyper pop genre bending is what ChatGPT told me it was. Because I wanted to know.
Why does that
Money
sound
Machine.
so gay?
Yeah.
Hyper pop. What was the other one I said?
Genre.
But it doesn't
bending.
sound like pop.
Genre bending.
Yeah. No, it doesn't. It doesn't sound.
It's
not
like
pop.
distorted, right?
It can't be pop because nobody would listen to that on the radio. Like
Yeah.
ever.
I don't know why they use the word pop.
Why do they even
It's
call
like
it pop?
Yeah, why is it called pop?
'Cause it's like a
Pop.
bubble. It's got a pop. Like
Popular.
what's happening with AI in the data
Popular.
centers right now.
Popular music.
Hey guys, ceasefire with Iran. Did you see that?
No.
Now the Strait of Hormuz is open after all these
Been waiting.
100 days of war. It was
It's not-
almost like they didn't even need to do the war in the first place.
It's not war. That's not war. War is when Congress declares war.
Oh, my bad.
When the president just decides all willy-nilly to just start bombing people, and sending billion-dollar jets,
Bombers.
bomber, all that stuff. That's not war. That's
When you destroy all their infrastructure, you bomb desalination plants.
yeah.
You assassinate their scientists. You
Yeah,
kill their
yeah.
leader. They're like the supreme leader of their entire like religion and country.
and
That's
then
not
you
a
get all
war.
the like next wave of people really pissed off at you.
Yeah, that's not a war.
That's not a war. That's
Yeah,
just
Congress would
Oh.
declare it if it was a war.
exactly. Yeah. It's just like a little.
That sounds like a ChatGPT phrase. Like, that's not war. That's thinking ahead.
That's strategic planning. That's not war. That's BlackRock's investment strategy.
That's right. There you go. That's right. That's exactly what it is. Anyway.
What can we even say today? Like,
Oh,
you know, yeah.
Hey, no one has reposted us.
happy Dia de los
You're gonna get
Padres.
300 years, 300
No
weeks
one's
of
even
life.
watching. We're just talking to ourselves. It's the 300th anniversary.
Hey, better
of
than
our
me talking to
podcast.
myself alone in the mirror. You know,
You do that.
at least I
too.
got you guys. I'm like, Mitch, you could do it. You could do another day, man.
every
You could do another day.
You got this. Get out there. Get out there. Grab that cow. Grab that milk machine. Yo, we got 6 gallons the other day of milk in one fucking
Jesus.
day.
Jesus.
Beefy
That
boy
doesn't
didn't
sound
milk
right.
her out overnight. I don't know
Oh,
why.
okay, yeah, I was gonna say. that doesn't
Yeah,
sound right.
Jess calls me. She's like, "You need to help me lift this thing." I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I look in the thing. It's like 6 gallons. I'm like, "Babe, what did we just sign up for?" She's like, "I'm making butter today. Don't worry. I'm making yogurt." Great.
She's just jumping right in.
That's awesome.
Yes.
I gotta admit though, Jeff.
Jeff
Snyder.
Bezos.
Jess, if you ever wanted to be transgender, your name would have to be Jeff. That would be hilarious. What would my name be? I guess I could just stick with Cameron.
You can stick with Cameron. Yeah,
Yeah.
it can still be Cameron.
Diaz.
Yeah.
What would Drake be?
Drake.
Drake.
There's no female equivalent.
Dre.
Yeah, sorry.
I can't think of one.
Yeah,
I just can't imagine him as transgender.
I'm.
It would be one of those like
impossible.
super non-binary names like Dre or something. You'd have to like probably dress with kind of emo too.
Just
Giselle.
like Andrea.
Giselle.
Yeah,
Why are
Dre.
You're not
fuck
allowed
are
to
you
comment
even-
if you didn't. even
Andreka.
repost.
Yeah. Why are you even fucking commenting? You didn't repost.
Oh, here come the comments.
Dude, okay.
Okay, what else you got? What else you
Sandra,
got?
what the fuck?
Drake, what's your middle name?
No, like last night, I was watching this interview with an anti-natalist on the stream.
Oh.
And
What is antinatalist? What does that mean?
Oh, Katie says Dee. Okay. All right.
Sweet D.
Dee?
Anti-natalist is people that
Somebody
believe
who's
that
against
it's immoral.
natals.
It's
Someone against natals.
They have a fear of natals.
Yeah.
They're against birth. They think birth is wrong.
You guys want to do this yourself? I can leave. You think you can handle 300 yourself, but it's somebody who
You can
believes
go.
that
You can
it's
go.
unethical, it's immoral to bring new life into existence.
Is that what an antinatalist is?
Wow.
Yeah,
So they were on your live stream. You're watching a video, or they were?
just watching. No, I was just watching a video.
Oh,
And anyways, so there's this woman on there, and the whole time, Sandra's like commenting that it's a man, and I'm like, and he's like, because her name's Amanda, he's like, it's a man, duh, and I'm like, okay, cool jokes, guy. So then eventually I stopped watching that interview and I move on to something else, and he's like, I just looked it up, she is transgender. And I was like, what?
What?
Like, do you have some kind of radar for that? I couldn't tell, dude. I'm
No,
still
no.
a little
No, wait,
bit
hold on,
skeptical.
hold on. Can you
he had
pull,
to train
can
for
you
it when
pull
in
up
border
what she
border
looks like?
patrol. They train for this.
Can you pull up
They're
what
like,
she looks
That's
like?
true.
If it's just a man, don't let him in. If it's just a woman, don't let him in. If it's transgender, send him to
Gotta let him
Minneapolis.
Send him to Guantanamo. Minneapolis.
Straight to Minneapolis. Green card, the whole nine.
One-way flight
Yeah.
on Spirit Airlines.
Oh man.
Hold on,
Yeah,
I
I
have to
want to see
sort
what.
through all the classical music in my history. That my
Yeah.
teacher listens
Go ahead. Sure.
Damn,
I
What's
got
she
it.
look
Who's
like?
you like that?
Let's see. Pull her up. I want to see. Just for science, I mean.
for
you know.
science.
For science. But Cam couldn't tell, and
Dee is building out his dream board.
I'm really curious. You know, actually, I just started reading Player of Games.
Didn't you finish Accelerando?
You know that would be hard to tell. Actually,
I don't see it.
that would be hard.
Let's listen to the voice.
Let's listen to them.
What's your biggest fear?
My biggest fear, my biggest fear, honestly, is that this idea will not be listened to.
That's really tough.
I don't know.
That I would not be able to tell.
It was so
actually.
funny
I
though,
don't
because
know.
like this person, she was like,
hang on,
you know,
hang on.
given the whole argument and everything. Hold
To
on,
be
what?
fair to you, Cam, to be fair, I thought she was going to be attractive looking at the very least.
No,
Not at
Just
all.
some-
She
but
looks
was
like
like
somebody's like grandmother, great
She looks
aunt.
like she has resentment because nobody wanted to be with her, and now she is taking it out on the.
It does.
On the
And then she was
natals.
describing how she got into antinatalism before she was making Pokemon toy review videos on YouTube. She's an artist. She has a master's degree in some kind of art. And I'm like, not to like, you know, well, whatever. I was gonna say, not to make fun of her for that, but yeah. I'm like, so you're getting joy, and she's like, it gave me so much joy. I'm like, you're getting all this joy out of life, but you think life is all suffering. It's unethical to bring children into the world. That's
Makes no
basically
sense.
that's like the most fundamental one. There's like all kinds of other branches. There's even ones who like think that if there's a possibility that AI could be sentient, then it's unethical to create AI.
Yeah, that's retarded.
Insects, it's not clear. Trees, though, not sentient, therefore it's okay. And I was like, well, and then they were talking about the environmental aspects, and I'm like, but if humans are destructive, yes, to the environment, yes, but trees aren't sentient, and therefore you don't think it's unethical for them to procreate, then why does it matter if we destroy them?
Right.
So it was interesting. I went through like a whole diatribe on the thing.
So on this topic, I got one for you. I got a good one. Check this out. This is something Christine had sent me.
This is what you and Christine text about.
Yeah.
Antinatalists.
Yeah. You see what it says at the top? I don't like kids, right?
Say children are dehumanized and treated like shit in our society, there's always a few people who pop up to say, yeah, but they're so annoying. I don't want them around. Can you imagine getting away with saying that about any other group of human beings? Baby, who treated you like you were subhuman when you were a kid? And why do you want to perpetuate that on other people? Everything that's messed up about our society, everybody who's ever hurt you, it was because they were not treated well when they were kids. We live in a society that is deeply hostile to children. And until we realize that and start changing the way that we treat children today, start valuing them the way that we weren't properly valued and cared for and supported and loved, not just by parents, but by community, by society as a whole, when we were kids, these cycles are just going to keep happening. I'm Dr. Hillary Agro.
All right. Isn't that cool though?
Agroanthropology. Yeah.
Like there's, just some random person out there saying the same shit we've been saying for
100
millennia.
episodes.
300 episodes
You
at
just
the
need
very
to wear
least.
earrings like that, Dee, and then they'll listen to you.
I needed to wear earrings and dye my hair certain
I
colors.
think the key is that
And
we
have
need
a
to
doctor.
be female.
Call
starting to
yourself
see-
Amanda.
I'm starting to see some advantages.
Yes, maybe that's how dedicated Amanda was. She, when she
Oh.
was a he, was like, nobody's listening to me.
Nobody's listening to
He's
No.
watching my Dragon Ball videos.
Now Cameron's whole live stream's listening to her.
That's right. That's got a point. Mitch has got a point.
Yeah, the whole
Spreading the
soft
word.
white underbelly thing has been very fascinating as you guys have dove deep into that. I've watched a few of them, and that is something I would not have listened to in the past before finding this group. So I'm like, why would I want to listen to those people? But then you see it, and you see the system embodied in a person. It's very eye-opening. I remember that OnlyFans one, the OnlyFans manager,
Yeah.
hearing his attitude, and then you can hear the contradiction in his voice because he's like, yeah, well, I got a kid now, so, it's probably evil what I'm doing, but
Equaf
You know.
should do a collab with Soft White Underbelly
Ooh.
oh,
where
shit.
they interview the Soft White Underbelly people, on Soft White Underbelly, and then like they do their life review when they die.
Mm, yeah,
That'd
That
pretty
would be cool.
pretty crazy. I'd love that.
I guess
Um,
Equaf is kind of the Soft White Underbelly of the afterlife.
Of
In
existence.
the afterlife. Journeys into the afterlife.
Yeah, I wish they did like even more soft white underbelly with, I don't even know. I would love to just see people from different aspects of the system. Like, imagine some
what it
like
is.
Russian soldiers
what-
on there.
That's literally what it is.
Really? It has
Yeah.
even to that level? Like, do they have like CIA operatives on there?
Probably. I mean,
I'm
I don't
sure you
know.
could
Like, I
find-
don't know if they have every single thing, but there's like all kinds of random stuff. It'll be
really?
like
Yeah. You're
entrepreneurs.
right. Equaf is the soft white
famous people.
underbelly.
Yeah.
of the afterlife.
It was interesting too, though, because in the antinatalist one, the guy, I forget his name. It's like Mark, I think.
Yeah.
He was saying
Wait, Amanda? You mean Amanda?
no, Mark, pre Amanda. No, he was just making this point when she was talking about the destructiveness of humans. He was like, yeah, it's getting really bad. Like it's hard to see that it's going to be like positive in the future. He was like agreeing with her on those points just like from himself, you know, like
Yeah.
he was offering his own opinions about it. And you got to imagine that guy's interviewed so many people that are just like so fucked, and he like hears their
Dude.
whole life story. So he's like not under an illusion that like, you know.
I saw this video. Somebody had sent it to me. Is this video of a guy going and asking homeless people? It looked like in Miami. He was asking them, "Hey, do you want to come to my house and have dinner?" And so many of them were like, "No." And he's like, "Hey, can I buy you dinner? Would you come to my house, have dinner?" And like they were like, "No, that's weird." Like they were all off put by it.
I don't know what he's going to do.
No, I agree, right? But I'm just bringing that up because like Mark literally goes to homeless people all the time, and he's like, even when he's not having them in his studio, he's giving them rides places, he's paying for their food, he's doing a whole bunch of things for them and trying to set them up so that they have a better life. But then even when he collects a bunch of money for them and gives it to them, that's like, you know, life-changing money for them where they can live in an apartment or whatever, they're back on the street within a couple of months, like worse off than they were before. It's crazy, you know?
Yeah, and I a long time ago I volunteered with this like thing that helped kids who live on the street, and they were explaining how like they would get them apartments and stuff, and then they would just basically wreck the apartment. They'd be doing drugs, they'd get kicked out of it, and so like because they're not changing, like they're not homeless only because they don't have a home. It's like their general like mind and programming and all of that,
Yeah.
you know, which is not to blame them per se, but it's like you can't just solve it by giving people houses, unfortunately. Not that we shouldn't, but there has to be other things that go along with that. They have to be supported.
Well, I don't think we should give them houses because then it would cause all the housing value to go down.
True, we would lose all the value in our homes.
That would mess with your 401k, Drake.
Right.
Yeah, and how would I have my 401k invested in SpaceX?
Yeah. And how would I have my 401k invested in data centers?
Yeah,
How would I have my 401k invested in Lockheed? And
yeah. How would I invest in
DARPA.
data centers, which would then be put near my house and lower the value of my home?
Yeah. What?
Wait.
How would I have my 401k invested in?
Wait, my
You know,
401k is going to
bonds.
devalue my home?
But will
Shit.
my 401k go up?
Yes, your 401k will go up, but your house value will go down.
Okay.
But then because of the dependence on the housing market, it will crash the economy, and so your 401k will go down too.
But as long as I can just work it out long enough, and then I can just die and get
Can I
out of it.
Can I still
Kick the
tell
can down the
kids to
road?
pull themselves up by their bootstraps?
Yes.
Yes,
All
you
right,
can
well,
still make those Facebook posts
I think
too,
it's good.
saying, "I do not allow Mark Zuckerberg to take my photo."
Yeah. Yeah. I don't allow Mark Zuckerberg to take my photo. That's a good one. That's really what it should say. Because they're afraid he's just going to bust into their house.
Snapping pics.
He's gonna do jujitsu with him. Gotcha. Snap.
No, don't take my photo, Mark.
It puts you in a chokehold. All right, gotcha. Yeah. So
Hilarious.
guys.
Yeah, but I like that point that woman made. The one who's anti-natalist, where she's like, you know, if it was any other minority group, that would be unacceptable to be like, I hate whatever group.
Yeah, if
you
you're
know?
like, I hate dwarves, they're so annoying. They're always running between my legs. They're like cats. You know, you're trying to walk and they're like rubbing on your legs and tripping over stuff.
It's funny if you think.
Do you
of
think
dwarves,
dwarves get like? Do you think they're like always telling people to stop talking down to them?
it's funny when you think of dwarves like, you know, midgets. Like they're just
Those are two different
short people.
things.
I know, but if you called them dwarves, you're like, I hate dwarves.
If I was a dwarf, I would have a steel forge
Uh-huh.
and I would live in a tree.
You'd live in
tree?
a tree.
How would you
Yes.
get up the tree?
Are you sure you wouldn't
I would live up in the tree. I would like hollow it out, and I would have a
Oh.
house in the
Are you
tree.
sure you wouldn't live underground?
And a
Oh
mountain
yeah, I probably would.
Yeah, and a
with
mountain.
gold.
But my
With
door
lots
would
of
be
gold.
like the tree stump.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, I'm with you on that. I'm with you on that.
Sounds
Or
magical.
your door could be underneath the tree roots. You know, like
I'd probably go to a party at someone's house and start throwing plates everywhere, or threatening to throw the plates after dinner. Have you guys not read The Hobbit?
Uh,
All right.
they threatened
The
to throw
Hobbit was the
plates.
one that sucked. Okay, Cameron.
I did read The Hobbit. Actually,
The Hobbit was the best one.
no, it was not.
Oh.
No, it was not. That was the least best one for sure. The Hobbit was
Yeah.
written for like
in Hobbit.
children.
Was like first graders. Yeah.
Yeah, this is literally written for first graders.
Hey, so did you guys see that Tesla's new slogan? They filed for the trademark for this.
What is it?
Amazing abundance.
Hmm.
But then when you look at the word amazing, you realize, like if you actually look at the etymology of amazing,
Uh-huh.
it's like to put into a maze. So it's actually like confusion. So just like an abundance of entrapment, basically.
So we put abundance in the middle of this maze we call your mind.
Right. Then we're gonna build all these robots and these fucking drones and everything. So it's basically a giant maze, an abundance of this maze.
So they're communists.
Yes.
What is a communist? What does that mean?
Like he's like, you're not even gonna have money anymore. Everyone's gonna have everything.
Yes.
That's communism, isn't it?
I thought communism was when you starve your whole population
That's capitalism.
and kill all the birds. Oh, sorry. I forgot to kill all the birds part. Now it's
Kill all the
communism.
birds.
Yeah,
Did they do that?
in China.
Oh yeah.
Why'd they kill the birds?
It wasn't like
They're eating
pigeons or
the-
something.
They were using
they were
carrier
eating the-
pigeons to communicate secrets.
What were they eating? I think they were eating the crops.
Yeah, the pigeons were eating the crops, so they were like, oh yeah, anybody who gets a pigeon, kills a pigeon, gets like a free, I don't know, Chipotle or something. And so
Made out of
everybody
pigeon
was
meat.
like killing
Free burrito from
pigeons,
Chipotle.
and they like went crazy town on the pigeons and just like killed all of them.
They killed all of them.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you guys see the plague of mice in Australia? Jess was telling me about this.
No.
Like it's
The what of mice?
crazy. No, there's like
Plague.
a part of Western Australia where there's like straight up a plague of mice. That's like thousands and thousands per acre.
Australian mice plague would be a cool name for a band.
Yeah, and like people are driving trucks across the road and there's so many mice it's just like crunching on top of them.
No fucking way.
Dude,
Show
I'm
me.
telling you, this is what Jess this was the first thing she told me the other day.
Was
She's
it
like, "You wanna see
Jess or was it Jeff?
It was Jess. Homemade mousetrap to combat. Oh Jesus, this is,
Can you share? I want to see.
you want to see this?
Yes.
Australian
Stop,
mouse
stop
plague. Here we
teasing me.
go. All right, you've been warned. We're watching a mice plague.
Whoa, that's a lot of mice.
Okay, these look old though.
Are you
That might
sure
be
that's not
AI.
rats? Those are
I don't
pretty
know.
big.
There was something about.
Whoa.
No, these are old. These are old. I need to. Uh
I forget
oh.
about-
We're getting into
Dude,
transgender.
that was
stuff.
actually
Oh,
funny.
hang on.
That was actually funny.
Latest. My bad.
There was this whole thing with Nancy Mace, and she was like talking about we got to stop transgender experimentation on mice. Like, because there was some story about trans mice, but they're like transgenic mice, where they're like altering their DNA. But she was like, I had to stop these experiments just for transgenderism.
Yeah.
Hilarious. What's it say? Can you read it to me?
So a normal plague is 800 mice per hectare, which I don't know what that is. Is that 2 acres or something?
It's like 2.5 or something.
We were counting 400. We were 10 times plague proportions. Yeah, I don't know. The Guardian doing their independent journalism here.
The mice are rising up.
It basically, I don't. Just like gave me this whole play-by-play. Essentially, there's all this extra food last year that grew, and then it didn't get fully like picked up or eaten, so it created a breeding ground for the mice, and then the population like super exploded, and then they don't have natural predators.
I
So
thought
it's
they had a whole
Australia?
bunch of feral cats in Australia.
Maybe on the other side of Australia, dude. Maybe the mice killed the cats because there was so many of
Literally,
them.
literally
What the
how
fuck?
the Aboriginals feel about like the white Australians. Like a few of them come over here, they just explode like a plague.
It seems like Australia just perpetually has this problem. I
Yeah,
saw
it seems like Australia just perpetually sucks.
I saw this
More
thing.
and more.
But
That
have you
was
seen
like-
Opera House?
No, I've never seen it.
I think that's the only thing I know about opera houses and kangaroos.
Yeah, kangaroos.
What about it? The Opera
And
House?
Sydney Sweeney.
Outback
It sucks.
Steakhouse. Oh, and that big rock.
Yeah, Bloomin' Onion. Yeah.
I don't think that's
Ayers
actually
Rock.
Australian though.
Oh, and they have all these poisonous things. It's like Texas on steroids. For
Actually, you know,
poisonous
the only
things.
good thing that came out
Texas.
of Australia, Steve Irwin. That's it.
Hey, Steve
He's
Irwin's
gone
interviews
now.
on Destiny, pretty good.
Yeah, they were pretty good.
Mm.
The only good thing that came out of Steve Irwin
Don't do it.
Was his accent? when
Don't
he
do it.
said
It's
crikey?
Father's Day. It's
was
Father's
the
Day.
Stingray's barb.
No.
Oh.
Rest in peace, homie.
The Stingray or
Hey, I got stung by
Let's
a
all
stingray
take a
once.
sip for Steve Irwin on
All right,
Father's Day.
shout out Steve. Stevie.
I'll take a sip for Steve. Anyway,
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it is Father's Day. We should
stingray
talk
once.
about fathers.
That's very natalist of you.
happy Father's Day to all the fathers in their children's lives. Yeah, all the fathers that were there.
Damn,
Not-
Drake.
not
You got
to-
a vent? You got a vent right now, Drake?
I'm just saying. I'm just saying there's a lot of fatherless children.
That's true. Oh yeah, you made a good post about that recently.
I did?
Yeah, well, like a week ago.
I don't recall it.
You were standing in the dark outside.
Shout
your
out to the
house.
ultimate father, Father God.
You know, there's some people in our
God is
That's gonna
God
make
a
that
homosexual?
Not only that, he's also transsexual.
How do you figure?
Transgender?
Is God transhuman?
transgenic.
Is there a difference
Splicing
between
DNA?
transsexual and transgender?
What does transsexual mean?
Yes.
I
Do I wanna
think
know?
there probably is. Actually, I think transsexual is more like you just want to pretend to be the other sex.
Oh.
Transgender is like you're fully that thing.
Like you're committed
I think
to
it's
it.
like a subtle. I'm not
Point
sure
of
that's
no
the
return
actual
type shit.
definition, but
Let's look it up.
Giselle says
trigender.
he's a he she.
God is not a woman, so
Unless you're Mormon, which is not Christian apparently.
oh yeah, that's true. They do believe in a mother God.
Mother God, Father God.
That's been a whole
Big
interesting thing to
banging,
watch. That
big banging up in heaven, and then all of a sudden now.
yeah,
the
that is funny.
offspring.
I saw somebody making a joke about that. They're like, oh, you know, people believe there started with a big bang. They're like Mormons believe it began with a big bang because they believe in a mother and a father God. And I'm like, that makes more sense.
Okay. Transgender is a broad, inclusive umbrella term for anyone whose gender identity differs from the sex they were assigned at birth. Transsexual is a narrower, older term historically used to describe people who permanently transition their bodies through medical interventions such as hormone therapy or surgeries to align with their gender identity.
Can then they go back and so let's say you're a guy, you get the surgery, now you're a woman. Can you then say I identify
that
as a
easy.
man?
Is that easy, Mitch? You just get surgery.
Because
and
then
you
why
can-
would they get the surgery if? Well, and anyway. Hey, back on this mother father God point. So remember we were talking about the Mormons and how like when you die, you apparently get this godhood status, right? You like can become your own god.
I don't think it happens that easily, but sure, go ahead.
Well, so this is interesting. So
It's a
I'm-
little bit harder than that. You
Well,
have to
there's a
follow the
few-
commandments.
Oh, got it.
Prerequisites.
I don't have to walk a 7-year journey to anything. Okay, cool.
No,
Good.
it's a
I'll just do
lifetime
that
thing.
instead of this. This is fucking.
It's a
self-inflicted
lifetime
is
thing of
hard, man.
wearing
You
magic
have to
underwear.
wear all white when you're,
When you're dying.
no, copulating with your wife.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you have to like these long underwear. That like
This is
reach-
my only.
Is that
white
for when
shirt
you're
I
having
have, and it
copulations?
gets dirty so fast. Being
I'm
a
pretty
dad.
sure like this is your only white shirt. It's black. It's very dark.
I was gonna say,
Oh.
yeah, damn, dude. You know, watch that thing.
Yeah, happy Father's Day to me. My kids get food everywhere. So anyway, back to this point. So I'm reading Singularity Sky by Charles Stross.
Oh,
It's
is it
very
good?
good. It's very good.
I haven't read that one yet.
I am like I very much. That's why Drake, I was pestering you about Accelerando. I have learned I really like his style because it's so high vocabulary. It's like impressively hilarious, but still like riveting. It's not like silly. It's like holy shit, this is crazy.
Is it the before or after Accelerando?
So technically, I thought it was actually part of the same series. It's not. ChatGPT lied to me, and it gassed me up, as Gen Z says, and it was like, you're onto something here. And then I asked last night, I was like, is this same character Rachel, the one who's in Accelerando? And it's like, common misconception. I see how you could have that. You know, you're not crazy for thinking
Like,
that.
yeah, you fucking told
It
me.
just straight gaslit me. And so anyway, but it's Singularity Sky's the first one, and then Iron Sunrise, the one that I think you got, Cameron,
Yeah.
is the second one. But anyway, I won't spoil it. It's very good, but it's like in the post Singularity world
Yeah.
where there's this AI called the Eschaton that essentially gets created, and it like is kind of overseeing everything.
Yeah.
But it has this one prime directive, which is like, thou shalt not violate causality. So if you start fucking with time travel, it'll like nuke your shit. And so what I was wondering is if there's a similar principle within Mormonism. If you got like Mother, Father, God are like, okay, you can be your own God. But if you start now fucking with my ability to be God, like I'm nuking your ass to hell.
Oh. I just realized why they say you get your own planet.
So you're in a prison?
No,
you
so
don't
like
fuck with anything?
you
fuck
can
with
then
somebody else's.
no, so you can create another population and train them up.
Oh, okay.
Like
then
I
what
always
does that
just
do?
thought it was like a reward. That's how it's like presented. Like, oh, and if you're really good, you get your
Oh.
own planet. But I'm like, oh no, it's like you get to go to another planet and create. Life
It's kind
there.
of like if you're like, hey, you're a slave and you graduated, here's this whole field you get to manage.
yeah. Well, you create it.
You got to create the field.
Well,
Interesting.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that actually makes sense. That's why they get their own planet, because then they can create life, and then they can get those ones to like become gods.
I see.
That's really what it is.
Yeah, it's the book is really interesting because there's this. I'm not gonna spoil it. Oh, this is so good. I get to be the one who has the power to spoil, but I
You
don't.
can spoil it.
Damn, my ego is charging up right now.
Spoil
Just
it.
kidding.
Spoil it like you spoiled your shirt.
Hey, Mitch. Did they talk about amenitizing the eschaton?
Amenitize. No, I don't know what amenitizing is. But it's funny because
It's Drake's favorite new word.
one of
It
the
is.
main civil or cultures that came off of the original Earth is like this weird kind of 19th or 20th century communism, because it holds them in a certain spot of not being too innovative, so they don't like rapidly develop technology to then fuck themselves over. But so it like plays on that whole concept. And but then there's this group called the Festival, which I still don't know what they are. But they drop it's like the first fucking page in the book. They're dropping down these smartphones that are called cornucopia machines that are able to be like replicator 3D printers that can give them anything in exchange for information. So the people on the planet, they just want more information. And then in exchange, they get these like replicator things so they can make like nuclear weapons and shit. And so it's this whole predicament thing. And then they got to do some time travel shit. I'm like, mind blown. I'm like,
Sounds pretty good.
yeah, it took a moment till it really, because there's all these like Russian names and shit. And then finally I was like, it clicked. And yeah, so shout out.
I don't
Charles
mind you
Stross.
spoiling it. I'm just upset that you're selling me on it because I have so many other things I was planning to read.
well. Yeah. And then there's these like aliens things. Oh man. And they're like super from like post singularity, and they're basically trying to figure out, they're like, are you guys sapient or not? Like, we need to know if you're sapient or you're just a zombie. But they talk in this really weird way. I'm like, dude, this Charles Stross guy had like some next level
Downloads.
fucking vocab for this shit. I'm like, I now see why someone like a Sam Altman and these sci-fi billionaire guys read this, because they're like seeing what a super post singularity world could look like, let's say in 100, 200, 300 years, and they're trying to live forever. So they're like, oh shit, what if this AI becomes super powerful and is like the god of everything, controlling the universe, and like, how's that going to go down?
Yeah, that
I
would be
wanna be
terrible.
on
We
his
should
side.
build that to like stop that from happening.
It's like they have some weird fetish about this stuff where they're like,
I don't know, dude. Or maybe he just was high on ketamine. Did we watch that interview where Sam Altman admitted he like took an exorbitant amount of GLP-1 and like had to lay on his bed for?
I
talked
watched it
about
on
it.
one of my streams. I don't. Yeah, we talked about
Yeah.
it. Yeah, I think we did. Yeah.
Yeah. So I this GLP-1 thing is a whole thing. Like I see people around me that are using it. And then I saw this interview the other day where it straight up is derived from Gila, I don't know how you say it.
who says Gila?
I say it.
Gila?
Gila monster venom. And
It's
so
a
what it
Gila
does,
monster.
you're ingesting poison to
You never heard of
basically
Gullah
shock your
Island?
system into not being hungry.
It's they discovered it in the Gila monster and then they've synthesized it.
Yeah.
But all they did was just take all the best venom. Like just
Yeah.
get out the stuff that wasn't.
So you're
venom.
literally poisoning yourself, and then now
yeah.
there's this like rapid proliferation of these. It's not quite like a turbo cancer. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that word, but it's like a similar effect is starting to happen, and now there's thousands and thousands and thousands of people using this thing. You're like,
Oh, dude, there's
oh shit, oh shit.
how,
Here we go.
how many people are actually using it? I bet you it's millions.
How many? I'm looking it up. How many people?
I think Novo Nordisk
are
made like $1 trillion.
using GLP-1?
Oh, yeah,
Around
when-
30 million in the United States.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
30 million Americans have reported taking Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, and Zepbound. Who names these fucking Who names the shelf name for it?
Marduk. They're like, let's get everybody to take reptile venom and build a god out of
yeah,
computers.
but like they name it these like corny names that always sound like a medicine. You know?
It does sound like a medicine.
Dude, I was at Walmart the other day looking for something, and they have like the ads playing on the speakers, and it was like, visit the whatever in the Walmart to start your, I think it was Ozempic, your Ozempic journey. It's like, dude, what the fuck? Probably the perfect place to market that.
It is the. Oh, you have to talk about the whole magic thing, Cam. I missed that live stream, but I watched a lot of that interview you were referencing,
Mitchell.
and
Mitchell.
it's a spell, dude. It's a spell. Okay, just think about this. You synthesize this pill, this crystallized chemical thing, and then you give it a name. So now you have a new name, a new sound resonance to this thing. So like Ozempic was never a word, quote unquote, until now, and they just whipped this shit up, cast that spell on everybody, and now they got 10% of our population.
Ozempic sounds more pharmaceutical. Every time I heard Mounjaro, I thought it was some new like psychedelic.
Manjaro sounds like
Dude, watch
some
them be
African
doing that at
thing.
like Burning
Yeah,
Man.
doesn't it make it sound like it's marketed
Watch
for
that
those
Burning Man.
people?
They make like
Yeah, it sounds like Manjaro.
and Wegovy sounds like I don't even know.
Yeah, drum circle.
Wegovy sounds fucking
Um, yeah, Mitchell. If
Magic.
you have not watched that live stream, I highly recommend. and
It's on my
suggest,
watch later to watch.
Like
later
you have
today.
to go watch it.
The magic
ASAP.
one?
Yeah, the one
Was
that
it
you
good?
did. The one you did.
Yeah.
Here's what I would suggest, Mitch. Actually, watch the interview that he's watching first,
Yeah, I'm like
That's
halfway
what I
through that
did.
one.
so you have all the context. Because he only goes through like a short portion of
Yeah.
the interview. But if you watch the whole thing first and then you watch Cam's live
Yeah.
stream on it,
Yeah.
it's really good.
So I will, but was it the phrase? It was called psyops capitalism. Is that that's?
I think
that's
it's
the-
actually on YouTube now. It's called. I called
It is
it.
on.
that.
It's on.
I think I
YouTube.
called it psyop capitalism or something.
okay. Yeah, yeah. Because like, what is that? What is psyop capitalism?
That's what's explained in that.
Yeah. Just watch the first interview.
Yeah, but basically, it's just
No,
It's-
no,
it's
no,
a-
no. Don't spoil it
Get-
for him.
no, no, no.
we're-
This is
we
I'm
have a
asking
whole
for the spoil it.
podcast.
No, don't spoil it for him.
They're
Just-
not gonna watch it.
What? Mitch is
people
gonna
on-
watch it.
The people watching
I'm,
our
I,
podcast.
I am
people
okay with you
watching are
spoiling
gonna
it because
watch
I
it.
still want to ponder this all day today. So I
Ask
know
the
I'm being
people in the
psyoped.
chat. Ask you in
So
the
I
chat.
know when I go
Is
you gonna
Drake
watch that
playing
movie?
to the
favorites?
gas station today and I want to drink a Red Bull, okay, is that because I've been psyoped by MK Ultra or not?
Yeah, definitely. What the fuck do you think? Hold on,
You
hold
let
on,
Drake,
hold on.
you let Mitch spoil Singularity Sky.
I didn't give a fuck
Spoil
about that.
Stupid
I'm
interview.
not gonna watch it.
Drake
See,
is
Giselle says
definitely
yes.
gonna read it. Drake's definitely gonna read it. The seed has
not.
been planted.
Giselle says yes. She wants me to spoil it.
No, she says yes. She's watching it.
No, she said yes to teach us what psyops capitalism is. Or
I-
I'm gonna go on fucking X.
Oh yeah, and then I
No.
read that whole article, didn't I?
Yes was too vague. Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
said
Okay, I was
then.
like, what was good about it? Because the magic stuff was like, I was like, I'm not really finding what I was looking for. Because
Alita
I wanted to
also
see like
says
magic
yes.
theory, but I couldn't really find anything
So like magic theory, as in magic with one C or the CK?
with a C.
Oh, okay.
Like just the idea, like, because he talks about it in the interview, and I had seen something else with that guy where he mentioned something like this too. But just the idea that in magic with a C,
Giselle's like, no, don't spoil it. Immediately after. Oh yeah, I want spoilers.
Aaliyah says I want spoilers. Magic with a C, he makes this really cool point that magic with a C, the metaphysics of it is that there is a true reality and there's a illusion. So like if I'm gonna make this coin disappear, and then I'm like, look over here, and I put it in my pocket, and I'm like, see, it disappeared, and you're like, oh my god, like how did you do that, right? But I know it's actually in my pocket, so I'm deceiving you.
But also, a lot of times, magicians, especially modern magicians, will say, "I'm doing a trick. You're going to believe that I did this thing, but it's really just an illusion. But if I can do it right, you'll be so engrossed, and you won't even know how I do it." Right.
Right.
And they'll say that to you as they're doing the trick, and you're like, fuck, how'd you do that?
Yeah.
Which kind of adds to like the aura of it, I guess you could say.
Yeah, but it's the idea that you are being led to believe that something impossible happened. It didn't actually happen. Versus magic with a K is the idea that there is no true reality. You only know reality through your perception. And if you can alter perception, then you're altering reality. So it's like a difference.
Sure.
Right. And it's funny because they both kind of play into everything. Like if you look at all the Aleister Crowley, like the fact that Jack Parsons, the rocket guy, was into the occult stuff, like, and then there's also the aspect of like you're just tricking people, like a politician who's like lying and they know they're lying, versus some of the stuff that the Trump administration does where you're like, I don't even know if they're lying about it or if they're just making a false perception about something.
Yeah. So, okay, look at it from that perspective of like the politicians where they're lying and they know they're lying. But even that is like they're lying because if they can get the public's perception to shift, then they can manufacture consent to actually make that thing happen.
So yeah, it's like a combination of both.
Yeah.
The old 1-2 punch. Damn.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what psyops capitalism means now. I'm so confused.
Well, okay. The psyops capitalism. I got it. It took me a couple tries, but I did it. It's basically how we have psyops. I think in the past. Actually, so psyops is psychological operations. There's a division. Did you know this, Mitch? There's a division in the military
Multiple.
for
Yeah.
psyops.
They literally have the fucking frog meme on one of their badges.
Yes.
There's like a
yes.
fourth psyops group, an eighth psyops group. Like
They changed their name at one point from psyops to miso.
Yeah.
And then because of that name change, there was like a reaction from the psyops groups that they were like, we don't like this name. Like this is gay as fuck.
Yeah, it didn't sound badass.
Yeah. So they basically came up with this new badge. I guess it's not really new. It's from 1995 or something. But this badge that's like, you just got fucked by psyops.
That was like their slogan.
That was their slogan. And it's got like a skull with
Like
a
a
bullet
bullet,
through the
yeah.
head. Right? Like it's fucking badass. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah, I like what Katie said here. This is pretty genius. Said, I think the data center outrage was manufactured so they could quickly get agreement about putting them in space.
Dude,
Yeah, that's the thing though. Okay, so that's part of it too. Is it's like there's a psyop to get people upset about the data centers, but also they're fucked as well.
Like-
So you've got like maybe I don't know. It's super weird.
think of
It's super weird.
okay, so Trump. Let's just look at Trump as he's campaigning, right? He gets into office. by all appearances, it seems like the first time, by all appearances, it seems like he's not supposed to get into office. Like
Seems like it.
he's doing. That's what I'm saying. Seems
Yeah.
like, right? Keith, that's a good one.
Somebody's watched Full Metal Jacket.
By all appearances, it seems like he's not supposed to get into office because he's doing everything not like a politician. You know, he's like really crass on stage. He's just basically like, I don't know, he's not doing the political, like, and I'm just going to talk to you the way that you want to be talked to. So everybody thinks I'm a good guy or whatever. Right.
But he is also doing that at the same time.
But he is also
doesn't fit
talking to the
normal
audience.
mold, yeah.
But he doesn't fit the mold, right? And nobody sees that coming anyway. And then it seems like all the media is against him as well. That's another huge point, I think. It just seems like every single news outlet is just like, fuck this guy. Can you believe him? Like, what a clown, you know? And then he gets in. And it like surprises a whole shit ton of people, right? And then even while he's in office, he's getting impeached. It seems like they're just trying to throw everything at him. COVID happens while he's in office, you know, and then these mail-in ballots make it seem like they're cheating. Like, you know, from somebody who's just like observing, I think objectively, I think it's fair to say, it really seemed like how, like anytime I would ask, and we've said this on the podcast before, anytime I would ask anybody, you know, how many votes did Barack Obama get? And they tell me, you know, whatever they think it is. And then I ask them, how many votes do you think Biden got? They always say a lower number. They're never like, obviously he did better. It's always like, no, it had to be like much lower. It had to be half that at least. You know, it's like, no, he got more. They're like, what? And these are people who would ostensibly be on the side of like, you know,
Biden.
Unless
Biden.
that even was
Like Trump got more votes
Like-
than any candidate ever in history.
and
Biden got more.
Yeah.
More than Obama.
Right.
And you're like, and then the whole thing around him being like demented and like just, I mean, you
this is
can
what I'm
use your
saying.
own eyeballs and see that the guy was fucking slow.
This is what I'm saying. And then on top of that, okay, he's demented. Then you got Kamala Harris, and then you got Trump coming in again. And it's like, okay, obviously he's a shoo-in, you know, like he has to come back in. Look at how he prevented us from going to war the first time. All these things align, and then you get him in, and then he's like the fucking epitome of everything you don't want, you know? Like literally every fucking thing he's doing. And you're like, what the fuck just happened? I thought you were about health. The whole campaign, you know, and I didn't even mention the part about him getting shot at, you know, like what the fuck was that about? And the killer, we still don't know how he got on the roof. We have no idea. How did he get there? We don't know his motivations. Don't know. Open, close, shut case. All right. It was just weird,
Yeah.
you know? And then there was other assassination attempts. It's just all this stuff together.
And it was in
It's-
Utah, which is the Mormons, and now there's this whole big Mormon.
No, it
debacle.
wasn't in Utah. That was a
Charlie
different
Kirk was-
assassination. That
Oh,
was Charlie
sorry,
Kirk.
yeah, that was Charlie Kirk.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
yeah,
that's
right.
also Charlie Kirk somehow connected, like deeply connected into the Trump administration, you know? All these things together, it's like, what the fuck am I watching?
So now there seems to be, so in the aftermath of this peace deal, I've been seeing these clips of now JD Vance apparently like
Okay, hold on. Before we go there,
standing
before we
up.
go there, let me finish this train of thought. It's the manipulation so much of everyone's like perception that it's almost like you don't know how to feel like, because you got RFK Jr. as well, who signed on to the Trump campaign, right? And that was supposed to be like, you know, I like RFK. Maybe a lot of people are like, I like RFK, but I would never vote for him, like as an independent. Like that can't happen. Oh, but now he's with Trump. Okay, yeah, then all my dreams can come true. All right, yeah, like he's gonna stop the vaccines. He's gonna, you know, regulate the FDA, and then this guy's coming out here and talking about like, I don't know, some crazy bullshit.
It's gonna take all the color out of my Skittles.
He's gonna take all the color out of my. Yeah.
Which is great.
Finally, someone taking all the
Great
color out of my Skittles.
but it's like he's doing absolutely nothing, and in fact, it's like he's going against everything that he said before, and it's like, wait a minute, are you guys all just fucking liars? Yes, but also that's the manipulation, and think about as well the manipulation of each and every individual's algorithm. Like what you're seeing in your algorithm might be a whole bunch of outrage about ICE because you live in Minneapolis and they think you're gay. And then what other people are seeing in their algorithm are like, oh, you know, all these illegals coming over the border and we got to stop that and all this stuff. But either way, it's like, it seems as though it doesn't matter what side you choose. The character arc or the plot of the story goes and weaves far enough each direction to get those on this side back on board with the general plan of things, and those on this side also back on board, oddly from different angles, with the general direction of things. So like you were saying before, the outrage of the data centers, or what Katie had said in the chat, the outrage of the data centers is actually to get approval or consent, manufactured consent for put the data centers out in space, which I don't agree with. Like, that's fucking retarded. Like that, like you were talking about this. I don't know where it was. Maybe it was on Thursday, about the sentient sun.
Yeah.
Right. Maybe you can go into that. But
I did a stream on it too.
Okay. So go watch his stream. Go watch the stream. Anyway, the amount of data centers that I'm considering Elon Musk wants to put out there would basically be like enough to do the same thing that, remember Bill Gates, however long ago, was talking about
blocking
throwing
out the
chalk
sun.
up in the sky. Yeah, blocking out the sun. That's what I'm considering, where it's like, it seems like that's what Elon Musk is eventually going to do. If you're going to harness as much as the sun's energy can provide, wouldn't that
you would just tell everybody to live underground. You know, all these theories about the gray aliens are genetic hybrids that were evolved to live underground on Mars or something. It's like, are we just like developing that right now? Like, is that where this is going? Because if you think about it, like, they don't actually care about life on Earth.
right?
They believe that you can go colonize Mars and live in outer space. So it's like, why would you want to go live in outer space? It sounds terrible.
Yeah, it's almost like they have this thing where it's like, what? Why are you so attached to Earth?
Yeah.
Another planet.
It really just looks like they want to live out some sci-fi like fantasy, basically, and
Yeah.
it's not even like a conscious thing. It's just they're. If you wanted to imagine if Anu wanted to program some elite imaginations with something that would enslave everybody forever, it looks exactly like that. It looks like it's a little seed that was planted into reality to like come to fruition in Elon Musk's particular programming to like build this thing that would forever control everybody. Because you build that much AI. I mean, I went into like the details of it, but his whole idea is that if you connect all these satellites in space that are solar powered and you can therefore harness all that energy, the amount of computation you can do is like 1,000 times all the combined data centers on Earth. So, and he's looking at that as one giant data center that's all interconnected. So you don't build that and then you don't use it. And think about it. I was thinking about this too. Every robot would be connected to that AI. So like every robot would be an embodiment of this
And all
god.
the Tesla
like,
cars.
Yeah. But I'm saying like the robots themselves, like when you talk to them, they would have the computational power of this entire AI behind them. Like, So it's not just there's an AI out there that's really smart. It's like each robot is connected to that thing.
Dude,
And then
also consider, like, when you were just saying that, I was thinking about, like, imagine how how we have all these flock cameras, right? And they do facial recognition and all that shit. And they've already shown how the AI will make mistakes and say, this is 100% match, this is that person, and it's not that person, right?
Yeah.
Um, I was just thinking about how these robots will be able to do that as well. And how when there's a crime, if you are maybe somebody who's in a position of power, let's say, and you've perpetrated that crime, but there's a lookalike, you're going to need a fall guy, right? And then that fall guy person takes the hit. And because I'm looking at it from the perspective of, like, it's not going to say there's a 100% match here in California and a 100% match there in New York, right? One of you has to be the 100% match, and you can't both be at the same, in different places at the same time, right? So if you let the California guy take the fall for it, right? Then it'll show in the blockchain of, like, and then he went here and we don't know how he got there, but somehow he was doing crimes over there in California too. And then we caught him. And now
You
he's
just
in
make
jail.
up evidence.
There you go.
You wouldn't be able to double check it because there's nothing recorded anymore.
Right.
Like no one's recording anything. It's just going right into an AI.
Right.
I was also thinking, so these robots, they're not going to continue to look like the Optimus robots. They're going to evolve them so they look like human beings. I'm talking like full on Asimov janitor level, right? Like, and then they can make them look even superior to human beings. Imagine them being like 7 feet tall, like angelic, like amazing
Yeah, like
looking, right?
when
And they
Elon
speak
posts
and they're
those
intelligent.
Grok images.
Yeah. So you just imagine that in the future, children growing up in a world where like there's these, they won't even necessarily make the distinction between they're human or not human. Like these are just robots. They would just be like the servants of, like, it would be like the angels. Just go back and read all the Destiny stuff. It's just the same thing. Like just play out your imagination for a second.
Yeah.
You know, like they're gonna be super smart. See, I think the thing about the Culture series, I could be wrong, but I don't remember reading any of them where the robots are like humanoid and look like humans. They're always like some kind of a flying drone thing. You know, so I don't know. Maybe there's some where they do look humanoid, but it kind of gives you like a false idea, like, oh no, you'll be able to tell when that's a robot versus
Right.
that's a human. And I think it's not true. Katie says it's not true. So yeah, so then it even proves my point further. Right? That like you would have robots that you wouldn't know they're humans or not. You wouldn't even distinguish because we've already broken the spell of like a human is a human. Like a human's just not, you can't even define it. There's a whole ideology called posthumanism that I was looking into.
Dude.
Different than transhumanism.
Okay. Do you guys remember seeing those videos and it would be like, what's wrong with Biden or something like that? And he's like kind of waving funny or like he looks off or whatever. And then you find out it's actually just a fucking wax museum. And they're like showing a clip from this wax museum, right? I think that's to set people up for the fucking humanoid robots. Like it's one of these psyop capitalism type deals, right? Anyway,
Another thing about the psyops capitalism is the idea that, because I went through this article, this paper called psyops realism. So they're kind of interchangeable, these two terms. Trevor Paglen calls it psyops capitalism, but there's the more generalized term is psyops realism. And they make this point that, and it's funny because I saw JD Vance talking about how AI has the potential to like lead to like surveillance state kind of stuff. And because I had read that article, they make this point in there of like, the surveillance thing is not the problem. Like, we've already done that. We already know everything's being surveilled. That AI doesn't change that point. Like Edward Snowden, think back to that. So anybody who's talking about, well, I don't want AI spying on me all the time, they're still living in like in an old paradigm, because that's not the issue. And the issue is really what I've been saying a lot, and we've been talking about a lot, which is no, the thing will be able to manipulate you. Like, yes, it will know everything about you, but because it can generate text, and like in the past, the government could spy on you. If they want to make you go crazy or trick you, they had to send like a person to make documents or do something. And they talk about this guy named Richard Doty in that interview who would do stuff like that in the intelligence agency. Like he would literally psyop people into like crazy stuff. Like, and he would his whole career would be about like psyoping this one person for like a year.
Also, the psyops would have to be like big and expensive as well.
Right. With this, you can just generate information. So like your whole feed could be completely AI generated, or it could be specifically curated to make you like only see certain things and create certain ideas in your mind.
Right. Like Mitch, how would you know that your Facebook is not the same as mine or Instagram or TikTok or whatever?
Even with
social media?
when occasionally I'll see in Jess's feed, and it's way different. Not just that she's a woman. It's like, and not just because she's into homesteading and fucking baking bread. Like, I log in to hers one time, and I thought it was mine. I was like, whoa. I got hit with like 4 really negative posts right away. I was like, what the fuck? And then it's like, oh, I'm on Jess's account. It was like starkly different than mine.
Jess, you're really negative.
Guess
You
they
end up
just
blaming
know how to
her.
make women generate energy. Just read Heaven's Journey to Life, y'all. The Adam
Dude.
and Eve section. You'll learn real quick how that works.
But what I'm trying to say is like, how do you know it's not specifically just for you? Literally, you, Mitchell. No one else on the planet is seeing the things that you're seeing. You know what I mean?
Well, sure, because there's comments and I can go in and message. But then, dude, you see so many.
Wait,
of these
hold on.
outwards.
You're saying the comments are real? Like,
Well, if you're commenting, I know it's you.
yeah, maybe, perhaps. But how do you know that that's not even manufactured? That you
Well, I'll
think,
screenshot
like,
it
they
and I'll
spoofed-
text it to you, Drake.
They
Okay.
spoofed me, right? Like you could do that, right? And then you find out it's got like a little. You muted yourself accidentally.
Yeah.
It seems like you disconnected your mic.
That would be the way you would have to do it. Is by
You muted yourself again. Yeah, I don't know what you're doing over there.
government.
It's the government.
I want to
But-
post some things in the chat while you guys are talking. I just want to let everybody know real quick. Like I have 4 articles I wrote on Substack, and I wrote these. They're not AI, but it really all 4 of these like really bring all these points together. And you can see like even back then, before we're learning about psyops capitalism, like I'm explaining these points in there. It's like you can see it very clearly. So I'm just gonna put them in there because if y'all haven't read them, I think they're very good.
Katie says, "Have you noticed how many accounts on IG are like .ai in the name of?"
Yeah, I see those. It reminds me in fall when they talk about the miasma. At a certain point, the internet gets just so polluted that it's just this giant pile of trash,
Right,
basically,
right.
and you can't trust anything on it.
Right. But also at the same time, it's like being manufactured to get you to buy into something. Like I just saw something actually recently, and it was some guy. There's a really quick video where he's just pointing out, if you go on any finance video on YouTube, in the comments you'll see something like, "Oh, I love Marissa, she helped me turn $4,000 into $9,899, and it's like, oh, that's a really nice investment." And then, somebody else will comment below that and be like, "Wow, I love that for you. That's fantastic. Congratulations." And somebody else will comment, "Could you send me that information," or something like that, right? And it's basically this farming of your perception in the comments, and they do it often enough where then somebody who's like a nurse or a doctor or some shit like that then is like, "Oh, well, I need to invest my money and I want to be responsible." So I see people in these comments always talking about this Marissa or whatever let me message them and find out, like, let me Google it and see if I can get in contact with this person and they can help me invest my money. But the reality is, the whole chain of events, maybe the original poster of the video is, a real person who has nothing to do with these comments, but all the comments in there are coming from some bot farm in Malaysia or whatever, where it's like they've got slaves literally chained to, their desk, and they're sitting at the computer and making all these comments in order for them to just live. And then some mobster literally is getting these people to invest in crypto, where they can just take all the money without them being able to trace it back, basically. I'm simplifying it, obviously, right? But the idea is, yeah, you got 120,000. They were saying something like, it was a ridiculous number. It was like billions, in the billions, hundreds of billions that they make a year, right? And they're doing this basically on, like, I think they get 20 people a month to invest over $100,000 at the very least, Anyway, I'm just saying that because it's like, even the comments that you see, and I'm not saying obviously not all comments, but it's increasingly like everything that we're seeing is a psyop. And maybe later I can share with you, because you weren't there on Friday. Cam and I were talking about this point of like how the psyops capitalism is really like a war for your perception, and I can get into that later. I don't know if you wanted to say something, Cam. I saw you posted a whole bunch of stuff in the chat. Okay. Well, I can get into it now then.
Go ahead.
All right. It's interesting because when you realize that the way that these people, even the occultists, where we realize like all the elitists are occultists, but even if we don't go there, all these people are into controlling perception, because when you control somebody's perception, you can make a lot of money off of them, right? And we were talking about magic earlier. That's literally what a magician does, is they control your perception, right? And because of that control of your perception, you go, oh, wow, yes, more.
Yeah.
That was
Thank
amazing.
you for tricking me.
Thank you. Yeah. And then, you hire them. You want them at your parties, all that. But it's all because they control your perception. You don't know how it's done, right? If you knew how the magic trick was done, you'd be like, I'm not really interested, But again, go watch Cam's stream. He does. I think he did a really good job on that, Cam. But what that essentially means is that we are at war, and most people don't realize we're at war. And it's a war for your perception. And whoever controls your perception, or whoever is manipulating your perception at that time, stands to make a lot of either money or power, which is the same thing, off of you, right? Because they're controlling your perception. And you know that phrase, Mitch, all is fair
In love and war.
Yeah, you know it. How is it that everybody knows that phrase? Right? What does that mean? All is fair in love and war. What does it mean?
It is weird. It's like anything goes.
Yeah. Literally. Anything goes. Like, it doesn't matter. So that means, hey, look.
And why those two things? Why are those connected?
Right. Right. Christine was telling me, she was saying this on another chat that we were having. She was like, if you said that to your partner, your lover, whatever, wouldn't that be fucking weird? Like, anything goes.
Yeah. Also, aren't there like war crimes?
But why do war crimes exist though?
Just
It's a
all's
good
not
point.
fair in war.
War crimes exist only because of if you have the power, it's mutually assured destruction. That's what it is, mutually assured destruction. Because if you can do this and I can also do this, it would just really fuck up our whole system entirely. So okay, we're gonna say that one's not fair. Let's not do that one.
By the way, there's a TV show called All's Fair in Love and Mahjong.
And mahjong. Mahjong is war. War. But literally, what they're saying is anything goes when it comes to war. The only thing that's going to stop me from doing whatever it takes to win is if you literally have the same power that I do. Like, I can just put pagers in your whole community and detonate them whenever I fucking feel like it. Because all's fair in war, right? Like, so in other words, would it be so absurd to think if we're at war, why would I hold back any punches?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Here,
So
let me give you this definition before you continue.
go ahead.
All is fair in love and war is a famous proverb suggesting that normal ethical rules and moral limits can be suspended in the pursuit of love or the chaos of battle. It is often used to excuse deceptive or highly competitive behavior because of intense emotions and high stakes.
There you go. So imagine if literally anyone who wants to make money, they're controlling your perception. That's how business works, right? That's marketing, isn't it?
If you're a capitalist and you believe it's a war, right? Like it's a competitive game basically, and winning is the only thing that matters. It's okay for me to deceive you. Even though normally you would say deception is bad, we shouldn't deceive people, but it's like when it gets to the point of I have to win, that doesn't really matter. All that matters is winning. And that's why I've been so seemingly confused about like Mark Andreessen, because he kind of seems to play two different sides. But if you look at his X profile, it says it's something like his like little bio section. It just says something like that loser in mentality doesn't make sense to me. It's like I wake up and I win. That loser mentality doesn't make sense to me, right? So it just shows you like, okay, if winning is the starting point, then it's like we shouldn't create an education system that dumbs people down and mind controls everybody and just makes them slaves to consumerism, blah blah blah. And people think like they would never do that because that's wrong. But then it's like, yeah, but we had to. We did do that, and it was necessary. It doesn't matter because we had to win. So it's like, if it's the case that you can deceive if you're trying to win, then you should assume everything is a deception. Like,
Right.
there is nothing you can trust from that perspective. Like it's a deception because someone's trying to win if that's the starting point.
Right.
Because
Like-
why would they get to the point of like I could win and then be like, well, but it's immoral to deceive. Why would they do that?
Right.
So you
So-
just look at everything in the system. Go back through history. Yeah, go ahead.
So if you're aware at all, you realize there are psyops happening. Like you'd have to realize there are psyops happening, right?
Oh, and the other point about it that we didn't say is he makes that point about how can democracy work when there's no consensus reality?
Right.
And they say this point about like the UFO stuff, and the interviewer was saying something about the idea that people have that the UFO release is about distracting from the war with Iran or perhaps like Epstein or something, and then the Trevor Palin makes this point of like, that's using the magic version with the C of like there's a reality that they're trying to distract you from, and he's like maybe the distraction itself is the point. So that's another layer to the psyops capitalism point, is that there is no underlying truth that they're trying to manipulate you not to see. It's just they're just manipulating your perception to create what they want. There is so in like everybody being in their little algorithmic bubble is just in a psyop constantly, and there is no consensus about what's real. Like, but how we never had that.
Right.
You had a billion
right,
people believing in Islam,
Right.
another billion believing in Christianity. You can't even agree on what's real.
Yeah.
But it was like, okay, but that's just the afterlife, right? We could at least agree on some things here on earth, and like the Muslims would trade with the Christians. They might do some wars, but they would trade and there's an economy, right? But now we're at the point where the economy is like turning on itself, on everybody. We're like, you can't know what's real anymore just by information. Did you guys listen to that interview I talked about on Equaf It's like an 8-part series from Anu about, it's called like the Untold Story of Heaven and Earth.
No, not yet.
A long time ago.
And he talks about like, you know, in the creation of this current system, there was all these parallel realities and timelines where different civilizations were being tested. And like some would get to the point where it's like, okay, they're going to have enough understanding of things to break through. So like they would just like, you know, delete that simulation, basically, like destroy that civilization. But the merging of timelines occurred over time where there would be like relics or tablets or whatever that we might find on the earth today that are from another timeline. So people would go and read the Sumerian tablets, for example, whatever, and be like, oh, look, it tells us the truth about what happened, but that may not even be relevant to our actual history. And my point of saying all that is just another example where you're not going to get the truth about things by studying the stuff that's here on earth. It's like people thinking, well, I read the Bible and I know that's the truth. And I'm like, but you don't know that that's not a fucking psyop. Just because you feel strongly about it, and just because you had some warm, fuzzy experience when you prayed to God in a time of stress, doesn't validate that the thing is real. You know, it's kind of like going back to the Dune thing with the Bene Gesserit, where they would put whole religions in a place just in case later a Bene Gesserit needed to be there and manipulate them based on that religion and pretend to be that prophet or whatever it is. So there's no information you're going to find out there that's going to give you, it's just like with the DMT laser shit. You know what I mean? Like I've always, when I started studying that, I was like, yeah, it's probably a real thing they're seeing. Like it's actually there, but you don't know what it is. You don't, and everyone comes away from it going, we should build the AI so we can become super intelligent. I'm like, yeah, I think that's the point of it. Perhaps, you know, it's just to psyop you into going along with the transhumanist shit.
Literally on that DMT stuff, I saw someone on my Facebook feed. Mitch knows who it is. It's this guy. He used to work really closely with Tony Robbins. He's probably in his 40s.
Comment?
No, I didn't see your comment.
Oh, I had to leave a comment. I could not leave a comment.
Nice.
Somebody I know?
No. Somebody Mitch knows. Right?
He was literally the top salesman for all of Tony Robbins, and he's like this motivational speaker coach guy.
Yeah.
He's like, any good connections to 5-MeO DMT in Florida?
Oh boy.
And I had to post in the comments.
But this guy, he's like,
Light
you know,
love
like
is a trap.
You know, you're supposed to. He presents himself. Let me just say it that way. He presents himself as like he knows all this secret shit. Like you gotta have purpose. You know, I know I worked with Tony Robbins. I see how that machine operates and works, and like I can help you get there. You know. And yet he's
always
obviously
the stupidest shit.
Yeah, he's still searching.
He's all. It's like once a month. He's always like, "What are your best books you've read recently on self-development? You know, what are your best books on habits?" And I'm like, he might just be engagement farming.
I
but
thought
like,
it was
you could tell he's
engagement
searching.
farming.
You could tell he's fucking searching.
Right. No, it's
So
clearly.
I had to
it's-
leave. I
it's
left a
him.
really clear comment of like, if this dude actually fucking reads this will put some doubt.
This is the point everybody in our group, including ourselves, has to really like understand and embody and live, which is that no one in the world knows what's going on. They're all just showing up here. They've got some programming that gives them some advantages, but they don't really understand what's going on. And one of the cool points in that interview series I was talking about from Anu is at one point he's explaining it's like it's really just about who you are and what you're going to do in the reality that you're in, like looking to the past to find the answers. To me, the value of it is breaking down any sort of idea I had that knowledge is the answer. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not like, it's good to study the past. It's good to study these things and learn about them. But when you're searching for the answer in it, as if this is going to tell me what to do. And for anybody who has the back chat of like, well, but then how would you know destiny's true? It's not about believing something in destiny. It's about coming to the realization that you have to look at who you are and therefore what you live based on that. That's really what it comes down to. It's not
It's
about
the only way you can validate something.
It's like, well, how do I validate the knowledge and the history of mankind? And it's like, to me, the best part about it is that it helps you break the psyop of the version of what you thought was real is real. It's not about believing it per se. It's just like, oh, that's, and again, I'm not saying therefore it's all made up. I'm just saying when you look at it from that perspective, you go, oh, maybe the Bible isn't actually from God. Maybe God isn't what I perceived it to be. And dude, there's actually so many cool subtle points in that interview series because he makes this point about, let's talk about creation versus evolution. It's either creation or it's evolution. He's like, but did you consider it's a little bit of both? I mean, I'm paraphrasing what he said. I'm like, yeah, exactly. And how many people can wrap their minds around that? Like, when people say, like, do you believe in God? Like, sure. But then the implication of that is not, I don't agree. You know, like there could be a God and there could be evolution and it could all be a big psyop. And we were created, even though we also were here before that. The real question is, when you're looking at information, does it empower you to take responsibility for what's here currently? And so everyone's not just looking at what's actually here. They're looking at the past or DMT or whatever to figure something out, instead of like Elon Musk talking about, we can have super abundance if you just give me all the money in the world and let me build a big computer in space. I'm like, we could have that now. But again, they don't perhaps realize or care that we as human individuals could change. But if they don't realize that, then why wouldn't the thing they're building not turn into a fucking disaster? Like what? They're the special ones. They can steer themselves beyond irrationality and emotion. But you know, the average person, they're just so dumb and they're just takers, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what are the fucking elite? They're the same shit. They're not fundamentally any different. It's just, again, though, that's like assuming that they have some intentionality of like actually caring about anybody. And what I'm suggesting is they just want to win. That's all it is.
Literally.
They will justify, and they might even believe their own psyop that they're doing it for abundance, but actually they just want to win.
Throughout history, the elite have turned on their own people. You know, own people, whatever you like. If you want to say, you know, you're part of this nation and you would think you care about, you're American, you care about Americans. No, throughout history, it's always been the case that the elite turn on their own people. They cannibalize their own people. Like if you go back to the Opium Wars. Okay, yeah, you had the British going in there and fucking up, you know, the Chinese, but also there were Chinese who were making money off of that. You know, or in India, you know, go back to India trade, right? The Dutch India company, whatever the fuck it was called, right? Like the Indians, they had money, they were making money off of other Indians, and they wanted a place where they could park their money somewhere else so they could make more money.
Yeah.
And not be subject to like, oh, I'm going to lose my money to
They
the
were
king
selling
or
out their
to
own
whomever.
people for their own
Yes.
self-interest. Yeah.
Yes, it's always been the case. And then they just, okay, this person made a whole bunch of money here, and then they go to a new place where there's less regulation, or they can hold on to their money a little bit longer, and they establish themselves there. That's literally always been the case.
And that, so then someone could look at our group from the outside, let's say, and project like, well, that's just what you guys are trying to do. And guess what? The only way you can prove to yourself and to them that that's not what you're doing is by not doing that.
Yeah,
like by
exactly.
actually walking through the point of, okay, I'm not going to sell myself out. I'm not just going to comply with the system. I'm actually going to stand up and give a fuck about this fellow human because they are me in another life. It's the only way you could prove it is by actually doing it.
Yeah.
You know what? I heard a really great audio, and I don't remember which one it was specifically, but I remember this part that was like basically Bernard was saying, you have people who will go through life and say, you know, I'm okay without money. You know, like I'll become a monk or whatever. It's like you're still relying on money. But also what you're saying is you don't want to become wealthy because you're afraid that you'll lose yourself and become just like the elite that you judge.
Yeah.
You'll become just like them. So you're afraid of doing that. So you're like, it's okay. I don't want to touch it. I don't want it near me because it will corrupt me, basically. And so like you're saying, Mitch, it's like the only way to prove that it wouldn't corrupt you is for you to go through that process. Obviously, take on this whole entire process, but you have to get to the level where you can have money and not fall to that corruption.
Dude, did we ever have, like, imagine you live in Soviet Russia or pre-Soviet Russia. There's like aristocrats in charge. And then the next day there's like a communist dictator in charge. But you're like, well, but I live in America or somewhere else, and that wouldn't happen to me. Like you have this kind of fantasy. Yeah. And I can see very clearly what Elon and these guys want to create is a literal AI dictator over everything.
They say it clearly. That
They just
want
say
an
it in a
AI
way
dictator.
where they flower it with like it's about abundance and all that. I'm like, how is that?
But they say
How is
really
it that,
clearly.
that if a communist said it or someone on the left said that, they'd be like, "Oh, you're a communist, just want to control everybody." But when Elon says it, it's like, "Well, no, he's cool. Like he's
'Cause
not doing it for that."
They really hijack that word freedom and that idea of like freedom, Trump, America.
The other
like that
thing though, that
liberation
they're doing
vibe.
though, the other thing that they're doing is they're shifting the responsibility from a person, an individual, where you're like, you can be corrupted, to an AI where it's like, oh, it's a machine, so it'll be fair. It's just a computer. It's just going to calculate. You deserve this and you deserve that, and everybody gets
It's
their share.
There was another one of those interviews from that one we were talking about from the Psyops Capitalism. That podcast is called Doom Scroll, and he has another interview. I forget which one it was. He was talking to a woman, and they were talking about some of these kind of adjacent points. And he makes this point of like, seems like the right is actually embracing communism.
Mhm.
And I see that. It's like, no, we're gonna have abundance for all. It's just no one trusts a human, like you're saying. And in that little article I put on there in the chat, the one that says democracy doesn't work, that's the argument I make in there, is that they're going to eventually argue that democracy can't work because people are stupid and irrational,
Yeah.
but also nobody trusts a human as the dictator. So it'll make logical sense that we just give the dictator aspect to a impartial AI,
Cam,
and it'll
you know
prove
that-
itself to us over time. Like, look at what it can create, guys. Like, why wouldn't we do that? Because you can't trust any human at this point.
You gotta keep reposting these Substacks. These are like your greatest hits. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? You gotta keep reposting them. Go on tour, concert, like literally, like let me be your agent.
Okay.
Let me help you out, because like you can really do a lot with this actually, because it's good stuff and nobody knows about it. You know?
That's the problem. Nobody knows.
I got you. I just need 10%.
You can have
of,
100%.
All right, let's go. You guys, that's a binding contract. That's an oral contract. You just
I
said
said it.
right there. So, all right, cool.
You can
We're
have all
gonna
the
distribute that.
subscriptions that I get, all the free subscriptions I get from Substack.
Even so the whole thing, the expose on like apparently Peter Thiel's computer got hacked or whatever, that website got hacked, where he runs this group called Dialogue. It's like, okay, is that also part of some psyop? But it's interesting
It is,
because
dude.
to your point about they basically want to transcend democracy, you could say. Peter Thiel's been talking about this for a long time. Even
Yeah.
in his book 0 to 1, he talks about having a monopoly and how he's like, it's way too inefficient right now. We need to like out with democracy, in with
Dude, that
technocracy.
isn't Elon doing the 0 to 1 right now for world control?
straight up.
Dude, okay, look at hold on. Also, look at Peter Thiel. Isn't he going to fucking apparently going to Argentina because they have more, favorable laws for what he wants to do? This is exactly what I'm talking about. The elite don't give a fuck
Okay,
about
so-
you.
Right.
So this is what's interesting too, because we, 50 episodes ago, whatever, we were talking about the whole Pax Judaica thing, maybe more like 20 episodes ago. And now they're seeing, so Javier Milei, the president or whatever, the guy who runs Argentina, I think he is Jewish, but I know he's definitely pro-Zionist. There's pictures of him at the wall and everything. And so it's interesting because now JD Vance was just on an interview, or he was quoted somewhere, basically like, hey, Israel, it doesn't make sense for you to like bash us. We're your only ally. Everyone hates you. So it almost seems like there could be a pivot happen. Who fucking knows?
No, I don't
right?
think it's a pivot. It's very psyopy to me.
Yeah.
Someone made a cool post. It was JD Vance saying this point about like if everything is Jew hatred, then nothing is Jew hatred. And somebody
Yeah.
reposted it and said, the left, like the Democrats, you really fucked up with this one. And it's like, in other words, they could have said all of that. They could have been, but now like the right, even though they're totally on board with Israel and all this, they're the ones coming out being like, yeah, guys, I mean, we got to tone it down with all this anti-Semitism thing. It's like kind of creating that impression of like, oh, cool. It's like almost like getting all the Groypers back on board, kind of, you know, not that they're going to get on board, but, you know, all the people that were upset about Israel, they're just sucking them all back in.
Yeah.
And so is JD the fall guy for that? Or is it just like the next level persuasion psyop thing they're doing?
100%.
But there's no, you know, it's like you always see these things where it's like Netanyahu is frustrated with Trump. Trump is saying Netanyahu's an idiot and all this stuff. I'm like, every time I see that, I'm like, we're about to bomb somebody. We're about to do something, and you're gonna find out later they were working together the whole time. Like they've done this like 3 times, where you start seeing these little leaks of information.
There's a rift. Yeah.
It's all psyop. It's all algorithmic, just manipulation of your perception. I don't know why. I don't know who's actually believing it. That was the funny thing about that interview we were talking about with the psyop capitalism, because he makes this the interviewer makes this point about the UFOs being a distraction from the fact that like democracy is breaking down. I think that was
Right.
the specific point. And he was like, it doesn't really work because I'm interested in this UFO conversation. I'm distracted by it, but I also can still see democracy breaking down. It's not really distracting me from that. So what's even the fucking point
Isn't
of the
that
distraction?
literally what we talked about like the week before? Isn't that
I don't
like,
remember.
we were talking about that on a podcast or something the week before of like it's supposed to be distracting you, but is it working? It's not.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah, it's just
So it's again, it's not about distracting you from something. It's just about keeping your focus on shit. You know, I was thinking about this last night because I kept seeing clips about the World Cup, and it just got me on this train of thought of like the average person going home every day and like drinking. Like they go to work, they go home, they drink, or whatever thing they do to distract themselves, TV. And I'm like, oh, it just, and you're participating in it, but it's like it just keeps you from ever like sitting down and actually thinking about like, okay, what's going on in reality? What can I do about it? How can I change things? You're just constantly like just
Coping.
living out your, you know what I mean? Like you're always, you're not even consciously doing it necessarily, but you're just
Okay.
not sitting down and considering things and like understanding and studying.
psyop. That's a psyop right there, though. The psyop begins when you're at home and you're made to believe the way that you're conditioned, the way that you're educated, the way that you're taught, all of it, your environment makes you believe you're not like if you're feeling bad, then something is wrong and you need to be immediately switched into feeling good. That's why you get a lollipop, you know, when you go to the doctor and they give you an injection and then you're like, whoa, and then like, oh, lollipop, you're like, ah, right? But
Have you
System
got-
right there.
but I'm making this point. I'm making
Go
this
ahead.
point of like, because think about even if there were no World Cup or whatever, you feel bad about the situation and you're at home. What do you immediately want? You want relief from that feeling. And so the relief comes in the form of World Cup, but it could also come in the form of drugs. It could also, it's like you want anything
Video
to
games,
distract you.
TV.
Anything. Yes. Because you don't want to sit in that bad feeling because it feels bad. And you're not supposed to feel bad. And you're not also supported to find solutions for your feeling bad. I'll give a really great example. Sometimes I've got a 2-year-old who's almost 3 and a 1.5-year-old, right? And sometimes they get really hungry, but they don't realize they're hungry.
Mhm.
They just get like really irritable because they're hungry. Just like anybody else, they have a term called hangry, right? You know, like that exists for a reason, but they don't realize that's why they're irritable.
Did I notice it especially with a daughter?
Yeah.
Like when my daughter is getting easily like kind of irritated, I'm like, oh, she's hungry. Like
Yeah.
she won't necessarily know. I mean, maybe now she would know, but like in the past when she was little, right?
Yeah.
But it's like really obvious, and I'm sure that applies to women too.
Yeah. I'm sure.
Oh, this is a whole thing. I don't know if we ever talked about this on the podcast.
It happens
but,
to me too. Also, like I'll tell the kids like when I haven't had lunch and I'm like I gotta eat, and they're like asking me all this stuff. I'm like, look, guys, right now, I need to eat. Okay, I'm not trying to ignore you. If you need something, let me just eat first, and then I will help you with whatever it is. You know,
Yeah.
because I'm like, I know I'm like at that.
So there's this whole thing with women. They cannot create
Release.
oxytocin if their blood sugar is low, and it's like literally the bonding thing. It's like what you enjoy about your wife being like warm and bubbly.
It's just
around you,
oxytocin.
My wife is so warm.
What do I need a wife for?
You live in
Let me
Texas.
just go get some oxytocin.
Let me just inject
get some oxys.
oxytocin with
That's OxyContin,
with a robot.
I'm sure it does the same.
which is an anagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so weird. So weird. Yeah, that's so weird. So anyway, yeah. So men, I always think about it like
Mitch,
this.
do you think it's just a coincidence?
That's like
It's gotta
asking
be,
if I
it's
think
gotta
Santa and
be.
Satan is a coincidence.
Is it?
So nothing is a coincidence, Drake. So
Definitely not.
So I you
Sorry.
can see it in like if you ever go I don't know if I'm ever on vacation or whatever, and you're like seeing this, you're at the beach, right? And there's like a guy proposing to his girlfriend, whatever, and it's like the guy is so unaware of how it all works. He's like planning this whole thing to be like, oh yeah, then I'm gonna ask her to marry me. Meanwhile, he like didn't bring her a snack, so the whole time she's just like fucking pissed. But it's like the image of it's this romantic thing. But it's like, guys, seriously, figure out what snacks your woman likes. I mean, if your woman's in this group, she can take responsibility for herself with it. But guys, you should be aware that
Or you
this is
can.
a thing. Yeah, yeah. But like your woman cannot bond with you and enjoy being with you. I mean,
Mitch has
sure,
a.
is this a
Some of it has
limitation?
nothing to do with
Sure.
the snacks. It's just on you.
It's just you. It's-
Sometimes it's just you. Okay.
you gotta fix yourself.
Let's not jump to conclusions that you're like you never pick up anything. You throw your socks on the floor, and then every time she gets upset, you're like, oh, obviously she's hungry. You start
I gotta
shoving
get her a
food in
snack.
mouth. She's like, I already ate. You're like, see, you're in denial now. Like anytime she complains about anything you do that's stupid, like you just like try to get her to eat.
All right, but back to my story. So
Wait,
I
you were telling the
noticed,
story?
yeah, with my kids, they get really irritable
Oh,
when
yeah.
they're hungry, right?
We just hijacked it.
And
Up you.
I see that. You guys don't want the audience to get the resolution,
Trying to distract everybody.
which is fine. But what I'm saying is we support them because we don't just go like what do most parents do is like they start snapping at their kids. Oh no, don't talk to me like that. What's your problem? Are you serious right now? Like I've literally seen adults
so
talk to their
retarded.
2-year-olds like this. Like why are you treating me like this? I'm gonna take you to Universal and you're acting like this. We're not going anywhere. You're grounded. Like all this bullshit, right? Go sit in the corner and think about what you just said. What you just
I
did.
just wanted some fruit snacks.
But the kid doesn't know that. They don't fucking know, right?
Yeah.
But what we're walking this process, we're aware enough. Like, hey, you don't usually act like this.
Right.
Something's up.
Well, you wouldn't know if your kid was in school all day.
You wouldn't know. You would have no fucking clue.
You got a nanny, your kid's in school all day.
You're like,
You're on
this kid's an
Instagram.
asshole. And then those parents will be like, oh, they're really well behaved at school, but when they come home, they're just like a little asshole, like because you don't fucking feed them on the time schedule that the school does.
And they had to sit in school all day. Dude, I have zero respect for any parent that thinks they need to put their kid in school.
Dude, school is. Mitch, this is where I was going with the first story that got hijacked.
Okay.
School was set up by who?
Anu?
It wasn't set up by Rockefeller, but I mean, it was like the whole
By the elite.
first man. Yeah, the elite.
By the elite.
Well, it definitely wasn't poor people who don't organize and create anything.
Right.
Lazy bastards.
But like, okay, modernization of how we have the school system today.
yeah, it was a structure just like a data center.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Nobody fucking wanted it. Nobody fucking wanted it.
Like-
but the elite were like, we're paying for it.
The elite didn't build it. They just got everyone to create it and participate in it. So, but there was like an organizing mind behind it
But why? But why? Why would they do such a
Uniformity,
generous thing?
Control.
because they just wanted everybody to learn about
Bullshit.
They wanted to win. They wanted
Dinosaurs.
to win. And
Dinosaurs
they realized they
and
The
need
life
World War
cycle of
batteries
II.
to do
stars.
And yeah, like all
that.
this.
They need human batteries to build their fucking.
Mitch, is Pluto
Industry.
a planet?
Yes. Answer based on your schooling.
Yeah. Based on your schooling,
My
Is
answer
Pluto a
would be
planet?
yes.
my answer was yes.
I remember as a kid it was yes, but then some psyop happened.
And then by the time
Like
you
it's not a
graduate,
planet anymore.
It's a transplanet.
Oh, I think that happened right around the time we were like invading Iraq. So it was like kind of a
I'm gonna look it
psyop
up.
in the news cycle. It was like, hold on, Pluto, outer space. Oh, ground troop invasion. You're like, shit, you got me.
I was like,
Watch it be
August.
the same day.
August 24, 2006.
Ooh.
That can't be right because Iraq was 2003.
Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
Was that Afghanistan first? Yeah, Afghanistan first, then Iraq.
I don't fucking know.
Okay, I don't know.
What?
Maybe it wasn't a psyop.
Dude, this says on March 23rd, 2178, Pluto, which they now call a dwarf planet,
2178.
will
circle with
complete
the
its
dwarves.
first full orbit around the sun.
First?
It's never
That's what it
completed
says.
an orbit around the sun. How do they know this?
Is this Gemini quoting some crazy shit from
How
Reddit?
would they know? Like, oh, it started here, and this is its first full orbit.
Because
Guys,
of Jack
it's the
Parsons and his fucking creation with NASA.
It's the largest known trans-Neptunian object.
Trans-Neptunian?
Does that mean it intersects with Neptune's orbit? Is that means? Like it goes beyond and then comes back?
If it orbits at a distance greater than Neptune's.
But it doesn't mean it crosses Neptune's orbit at all.
I don't think so.
Wait, it's the largest?
It's kind of weird. Why do they
Beyond
all? Why is
Neptune?
it like a disc? You know, like at least with this model of it, there's like the sun, and then all the planets are on like a flat
Yes.
disc.
Yes.
Why?
Good question.
I got a live stream topic for Cameron.
What was this topic?
Why
Why
are
is
we
there
on
a sun in the
disc?
middle and then it's concentric circles
our
out?
solar
Why isn't it
system?
like over here and down there and all this? It's like flat plane, but not a flat Earth, but a flat plane.
As I continue my story that I was saying from before, do you think if the elite put all this money into education, that they're not using it to control your perception?
Of course, they want batteries.
Of
infinite,
course.
infinite energy.
Of course,
They
that's
created
the war.
infinite energy.
That's the war. And then they get people to actually believe it's a long con, right? They get people to actually believe that school's good for you. You're supposed to put your kid in school. So
Like
all
you
these
literally
people,
believe you can't educate your kid yourself.
right? That's the fucking psyop.
Which, okay, without TT, are you going to get what we got? No. But could you, if you had a high vocabulary, if you went through like a lengthy process of learning new things and so
you
forth,
really
like, you
fucking
could
put
do
yourself
better
to
than
it.
school.
Yeah.
You could
Definitely.
do better than school. That's for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah, but your willpower got fucked by going through school
I saw this thing
for
I saw this thing,
generations.
and
It's
it
a
was
perfect
like-
thing. It's like an addictive kind of.
I saw this thing. It was like homeschool parents literally be like, "I'm just gonna relearn algebra rather than put my kid in school." And I was like, "Well, why do you have to relearn algebra? Like,
Well, because the kid can't read it themselves. Dude, Seneca's been carrying
no,
around
I
an
mean
algebra
the
book.
adult. Why does the
No, I
adult
know.
have to relearn algebra?
Oh,
like
you didn't learn in the first place, you mean?
exactly. Like relearn algebra. Like it's so fucking simple. What do you?
I'm going to
mean?
relearn it because I didn't learn it, but I'm going to make sure they learn it, even though they'll just have to read because they're not going to learn it. It's so dumb.
It doesn't make
Yes,
sense.
it is. Okay, real quick. So Seneca's been carrying around an algebra book that I bought for Max,
Nice.
and she just reads it at night. And then the other night, it was like 2 nights ago, I think. I'm reading in bed. Max is over there. He's reading Capital by Marx.
Das Kapital.
Yeah. And after a while, he like turns off his booklight. He's like, "Hey, Cameron, can I talk to you about communism?" And I was like, "What's up?" And he's like, I think all the people who, I think probably most of the people who like are against communism probably have never read this.
Hmm.
And he's like, and he starts just telling me like this whole analogy about like if you have goats and someone else has chickens and the value of the goats versus the chickens. And if you were to have like $40 of chickens and trade that for $50 worth of goats, you're basically stealing from that person. And then he was like saying, really what they're saying is you shouldn't be able to use money to like abuse. And so he's going into all these like different examples. I'm like, you know, like in other words, I'm just trying to illustrate the point of like, I'm not asking him to read it.
Yeah.
I'm not telling him he has to read these things. And then these people are worried about teaching their 12-year-old algebra.
Yeah. Dude,
Yeah.
that's so cool.
These people.
These people.
Freaking and then last night he is getting ready for bed and he has 3 books that he takes to bed with him. One is a German to English dictionary, which he's been reading.
I saw that.
Like he bought it when we were in Minnesota, remember, Mitch?
Mm-hmm.
And he bought it there and then he's been looking at it and he was like trying to write messages to Katie in German.
Hilarious.
He had that. There was 3 books. Hold on, I
Frank
took a picture of
Herbert.
it. Let me see real quick.
It was Frank Herbert.
Oh yeah, it was
Green
Frank
Brain.
Herbert's Green Brain, which he hadn't read yet.
Like Shakespeare book. or
And then he had
something.
Shakespeare, Much Ado About Nothing, and that's
Yeah,
what he
Much
chose
Ado
to
About
read
Nothing.
last night. So he turns off his light and he goes, it was like, you know, he's obviously done reading and he's like, that was one of the weirdest books I've ever read.
About which one?
The Shakespeare. He goes, and I've read some weird books.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's just like it's difficult
Hey.
for people who don't have the context of it's just vocabulary. You can use TechnoTutor.
Will you tell about Seneca?
You want me to
thing
tell
you
about
sent
that?
Me? Yeah.
I have to show the example though. Let me see if I can do that.
Okay. All right. Well, you pull that up. I'll finish my other story. So the kids get irritable when they're hungry. And instead of just like, you know, abusing them further, not understanding them, the parents in this group, what we do is we support them to understand like, hey, it seems like you're hungry. Why don't we feed you something? Do you want this? And of course, they're like, no. You suggest like, hey, do you want a piece of bread? No. Do you want some chocolate milk? No. And they're just like knowing about everything. And then you finally get a little piece of something in their mouth, and then they're like, I want more of that. I want more. Give me more. And then they eat and they feel better. But it's like we worked together to find a solution rather than just try to fix the upset, you know? And in this case, yeah, we gave them food. But in other cases, it's like they're tired. We're not giving them food because they're tired. We're helping them, supporting them. Hey, you're clearly tired. Let's lay down. Let's wind down. You know, we're helping to find the solutions rather than just make this bad feeling go away. Right? But that's how most people have been conditioned, is make this bad feeling go away. And if you're feeling bad and you're acting out, then I have to dominate you with my feelings so that you stop doing that.
Even though
You
I'm
know?
doing the thing I don't want you to do.
Exactly. How does that fucking make any sense? That's it. That's pretty much it. You know.
So
Were you
what was
ready,
the
Ken?
Seneca story?
Yeah, I got it. I just had to pull it up.
It's just like,
Share
so,
screen, window.
Not really impressed with your story.
I'll preface it first. So, Katie got this typewriter. It's not like a traditional typewriter. It's like sort of like an electronic thing that has sort of like a Kindle-like screen on it. So you can be in bed at night, like typing and not like having like a blue light fucking, you know, blaring in your face, right?
Yeah.
And I guess writers use them to, it has a very small screen and you can like save stuff and you can come back to it, but you can't like, it's not like having a Word doc where you see the whole thing and you can easily edit it. You know, there's no mouse. It's just a keyboard with like some basic controls to like save stuff and load new things. So it's very primitive from a certain perspective, and it's not like a traditional typewriter, because when you're on a traditional typewriter, you can see everything you've been typing, right? This is more like you have like a window. And I think the idea is, Katie knows more about it, but I think the idea is like writers use it to sort of just kind of get into that flow expression of writing where you're not like judging what you're writing, you're just like expressing. You can go, but you can save it and send it to your computer and you can edit it later if you want, right? But if you listen to people like Neil Stevenson, I think I heard him say he just writes 200 words every day. Now, I don't know if he limits himself to only 200 words, but it's like that's his habit. And so it's like you'd be surprised you can write an entire book in a year if you just write 200 words a day, you know? So anyway, so Katie got this typewriter and the kids have been using it. And I've only seen this one example because I don't know how to use the thing. So she showed it to me. I don't know how to load stuff on it. And it's funny watching the kids because like click, 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 click. Okay, I'm on. They're like, hey, let's go back to the other one. They're like, click, 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 click. They like know how to, they immediately learn how to use this thing. So I've only just looked at it this one time, but so this is something Katie showed me because Seneca wrote this. And this is not prompted by us. This is not telling her to write a specific thing. It's just totally like, you know, they got this new toy and she was writing stuff, right? That's all it is. So I'll just show you an example. And at first, it's probably when you read it, you're going to be like, I don't know what this is saying. And I've showed it to a few people to see what their reaction is initially. And they're like, it's the same I had where I was just like, what? What is this? And then I had to read it a few times and I was like, oh, wow, this is pretty creative. And there's a lot of dimensions to it. So I'll just show you. Okay, so remember, she's 7 years old, right? Let me expand it right there. Okay, so this is the whole screen. It's very small. Now, I don't know why it says airplane ride, boat ride. That might be from something else. But it says hashtag beggar in all caps. Quote, hey, you old landlubber, that's my money. And then she's putting the apostrophes, right? And then it says, and it ends the quote, hashtag unknown. No, it's my money. You stole it, Carl Onzor Nomini. And then it says, hashtag beggar. How do you know my name? Wait, you are Carl Nomen Rolani. And then now it's changed from unknown to Carl. And then it says bracket, privately thinking, yes, I am Nomini. And why aren't there quotation marks? And that's like a joke because she didn't put quotes on his speech, right?
Yeah.
But then there's like this little bracket, privately thinking
Yeah.
kind of thing. And
Dude, okay. How old is Seneca?
7 and a
Dude.
half. Well, she'll be 8 in October.
But this
Hilarious.
is like,
Wow.
you would find this on a forum that like, and minus the maybe the content itself, but like all the brackets, like the breaking the fourth wall, you know, that sort of thing.
Yeah, breaking the fourth wall, exactly.
Like this is something like a high school level,
That's what you would think, right?
right? Like and
Like creative
and even,
writing.
But look at the way that she's wrote "ol landlubber" with the apostrophes, right? Hey, old landlubber, and the apostrophes breaking down the language. Basically, it's like it almost sounds like a pirate, you know, kind of speaking.
Yeah, like yeah.
Right? And maybe that's why she put boat ride. But then the hashtag unknown in all caps. This is very well structured, like incredibly organized as far as how she's labeled who's talking, the way that she insinuates that they're talking with the colon and then the quotations and then the privately thinking in brackets. And then you could read this and it's almost like, this is almost like the way that she's writing. It could almost be like, this is a schizophrenic person talking.
Yeah.
You know, like it's an in joke of, you just found out this person's schizophrenic. He's the beggar and the guy talking, because the guy's name is Carlonzor Nomini, and then the other guy is Carl Nomen Rolani.
It's like there's
Which is
so
pretty
much
funny.
like in the whole thing, right?
There's a lot of depth to the way that she's writing.
And it's like when you would read other authors like William S. Burroughs or something, where it's like when you read it on the surface, it's like, okay, I kind of get what it's saying, but then there's actually a lot of depth in it where you almost have to decipher it, but not because it's confusing, because there's like a lot in it.
I know 8, 9, 10, 11-year-olds who do not write like this.
They can't even read.
What they can write is I love mommy. And they'll write love with a U and mommy with an IE, and that's not to be cute. That's what they think it is. Like that's literally how they write. Or maybe they don't even put IE, they just put E because they think mom E.
You know, the other aspect to it is what I realized seeing this, and then Katie was telling me, I haven't seen it yet, but Max also has been writing on it too. And she was telling me I just haven't seen it, so I can't describe it, but so I'm kind of based on what she told me. It's like he was writing some kind of action scene between two people, and I don't know what the action was, but there was some event happening between them. And she said he was like describing the action with almost like a computer code like language to describe it.
Mm-hmm.
And she was like, when you actually read it, it makes sense. Like it's like he invented his own little like computer code sort of type thing to like describe the stuff. And I'm like, even this stuff that Seneca wrote, like the point with Max, I'm like, this is like what you would expect from some sort of like cyberpunk, you know, where they're like telling a cool story, but then also being creative in the way they express it. And it just really clicked of like, well, a couple of things. One, well, actually, I'll start like this. So we've been using TT with them for a very long time. Mm-hmm. We have not taught them how to write.
Yeah.
Right. And obviously they know how to physically write with a pen and pencil, but we didn't even teach them that.
Right.
Like we've helped correct them whenever they like write something like, you know, when Seneca was very little, she would make the R's or the K's look strange and I would help her see like, okay, that's not right. But they started spontaneously.
I remember going to your house when Max was like 2 or 3 or just between that age. Right. And he was just drawing with chalk on the sidewalk and he would just draw something and then he would look back at it and he'd go, that kind of looks like an A. Or that kind of looks like an O or whatever, right? And it wasn't like he was intentionally drawing A or O at that time.
Yeah.
But he was drawing, and then he was also able to recognize what he was drawing looked like certain letters. And you'd be like, yeah, that actually does kind of look like a T, you know?
It was almost like in the caveman days when they started like scribbling and they accidentally drew something that looked like an elephant or like a gazelle.
Yeah.
And they're like, and they have that realization of like, oh, I
Ooga
could
booga.
make a Ooga Booga make picture of gazelle on Ooga Booga purpose. And then they have like, it's like that suddenly like that psychedelic realization of like, I can put the gazelle onto here in an abstract form. It's like, you can actually see the child going through that process. Cause there was a day, not that long after what you were talking about, where we had been doing words with him and he was starting to be able to read. And then he's like doing his chalk stuff and we come outside and there's like 15 words that he had written down in chalk. And we're like,
wow.
What? You know, and we saw this with Seneca as well. It's like you see this point where they start to discover, right? Just because you have put the words in properly and the letters properly. So, okay, so there's that point. And because they have such a high vocabulary and a reading vocabulary as well, meaning they can actually recognize the words, they can read books that otherwise would not be available to them, which means it's like if you only ever ate at McDonald's your whole life, right? The types of flavors and combinations of food items would be very limited. You would never understand like fine dining, for example, versus someone who's had that their whole life. They can tell you the nuances and the different flavors, and you know what I'm saying? So they've been able to read from a young age and expand their reading so that now they have access to all these new ideas and concepts, and not just that, like styles of expression. Because I can't say that thing I showed you from Sydney, I can't say I've ever seen exactly that before. Like, I don't know if she just kind of came up with that on her own, or she's seen that in something, or it's just kind of like a combination of things and adding her own little kind of style to it. But, and then, you know, like when I was telling you, Max was reading like Capital, he's already read the Communist Manifesto. And he's not like, I'm a communist now, you know, like he's not like getting obsessed with it. Like now because I think that would be like a parent's concern, right?
Right.
Like, oh, you let your kid read that. What if they turn into a communist? I'm like, that's not happening. He's just, okay, that's an interesting idea. I can see what they're saying there. I could see some parts of that make sense, some parts that don't make sense. I can see how people react to it. but they've been exposed to so many points, and it's just like you can. I mean, it's kind of obvious. It's like if you can read high vocabulary, you could read Plato, you could read Aristotle, you could read all these different philosophers, and then you would be able to apply these ideas or at least understand them. And you could, isn't that what education is supposed to be?
Yeah.
Like sometimes we'll say like education is just words, which is true, but it's what the words enable you to do, which
Right.
is to bring in new information and new ideas and new concepts and styles of expression and so forth. And when I look at what Seneca wrote, I'm like, what you have to also realize is that wasn't like her sitting down carefully thinking about what she was going to do. It's like she just starts typing and like that kind of comes out, if that makes sense. It's not like a child where you sit and like you're gonna have to write an essay and they have to spend like a week thinking about what they're gonna write. It's like, okay, I'll write about that, and then she does it. And I'm like, it's so similar to like as a reflection, like the LLMs and how they train them, where they would train an LLM and then they would compile it and release the model, not knowing what it's going to be able to do. Like these companies that create these things, in many cases, they only find out once it's released, oh, it can speak German now, or it can create poetry. It can do this. They don't know because they can test it to some degree, but there's a lot of emergent capabilities that just because you're putting more training data and more compute, it suddenly has these emergent abilities. And this thing with Seneca is like an example of that.
Yeah.
So like with TechnoTutor, it's like you're developing a real biological ability. It's not fake. It's not artificial in the sense of like an LLM. It's biological. It's just words. It's what we already all use. Just we learn them in a very limited way. But when you're using TechnoTutor with your kids, what you start to see is these emergent capabilities that you didn't even teach them. Like I didn't teach my
Right.
kids how to write creatively.
Right.
You know,
I didn't
like
even
I
teach them
do-
how to write.
I didn't even teach them how to write, which is
Yeah.
not to say if I saw that they were 7 years old and they weren't writing, I wouldn't take the responsibility to do that.
Of course. Yeah.
But we haven't had to,
Yeah.
and we're always teaching our kids. We're always talking about things, but I don't know how to get it across of like I didn't teach my kids piano, but like you should hear Max now. He can he's like, I'm like, dude, like, what the hell? Like, it's just, he's like all day here at the house. And then he's like, I got a piano there. And for some reason, he decided to start playing that. And now he's
Yeah.
like teaching himself. And then he'll go do something else for a while and come back and do it. And I'm seeing like the capability increase, right?
I called Katie like not too long ago, and it just so happened like Max was like around, and she was like, "Hey Max, why don't you go to the piano real quick? I'm talking to Drake. Why don't you go to the piano real quick and just play something?" And he just started playing, and I was like, "What the fuck? Like no way! Like no lessons, no
No.
like structured, tutor coming over, anything like that." I'm like, "What? That is insane! It's absolutely to be self-taught at how old's Max?
9.
9 years old. 9
Having
years
no
old.
experience with the piano before, like other than
Right.
just like it's there and he can tinker around. It's not like he's had any formalized
Yeah,
training in it whatsoever.
yeah,
And so you're just seeing, and like also like the way he makes clay, like we don't buy a whole bunch of like figurine toys, but sometimes he wants them, so he'll make them himself, and you'll watch, he'll make some, they'll look pretty cool, then he won't do any clay for a while. 3 months later, he wants some more clay, he has an idea, he'll remake the same stuff he made before, and it's like a whole nother level of like intricacy and detail. And then he started putting in wire frames into them, so they have like articulated joints and everything, and they like the eyes, and they'll have like a mouth and like all this like detail on them. And again, it's like self-generated. He's not watching videos about how do you make things out of clay, and just like, because that's what I would do. I would be like, all right, let me find somebody who's how to do it, let me watch them do it, and let me basically copy them, which is not bad either. But my point is like they're not even having to do that. They're just exposed to the thing. Seneca kind of developed the same point around dancing.
That's so cool.
So
It's like more pure expression than just getting a download from the system.
Yeah, exactly. And having studied a lot of math myself, I can tell you it's the same way with math. There is no subject that's like, no, you need specialized training. It's like if the information's out there and someone else could understand it, then if you don't have a vocabulary limitation, you can also understand it. Like, unless, you know, hypothetically, like to study quantum mechanics, there's only one place you can go to where they hold back secret knowledge that you can't like, okay, in that context. But algebra is definitely not that way. The knowledge of algebra is already out there. It's just a matter of whether you want to discipline yourself and whether you want to start at the beginning or start wherever you want and then realize you're going to have gaps you have to fill in. Right? But there's just no special information that it's like, well, you have to be this to understand it. Like, yeah, working on a nuclear reactor. Like, unless you have those resources and you're in those environments where they're doing those things, you're probably not going to learn how to do that. But I'm just talking about this stuff in school. Like, you can't learn history if you don't go to school. Like, you mean you couldn't just read all the letters that Abraham Lincoln wrote and all the letters the generals wrote and then all the history books that were written about it? Like, where's the special information that you're
Wait,
not
do they
getting?
even do that at school?
Hell no.
They don't even do that in school. But even if you went to
Exactly.
university, a lot of times
even
you're
do
just
it in
getting
university.
that particular professor's bent on the whole thing. And you have to
Yeah.
comply with their sort of line of research on it. You're not even getting like a whole picture of everything. So when you give your children the ability to have the vocabulary, it's just, you just start seeing all these emergent things that you can't teach. Like, I don't have time to teach Max the piano and algebra and how to make things out of clay. You see what I mean? So you're giving your child, he can still learn from somebody else, but you're also giving them the ability to not be limited by anybody else. And it's literally what they decide to do with their time and what they want to learn. And you could obviously kind of guide and steer that of like, these are important things to learn. But other than that, I'm just saying, like, the whole idea of homeschooling, it gets everything so backwards. It's like you missed the point of why school was fucked up.
Yeah.
You thought it was just because of the classroom and all these other things. Like, no, it's actually, you're forcing them into a very narrow viewpoint of what something is. Do you see what I mean? Like, another example real quick is, and I've probably told this other places, but when I learned, you know, math, I went through school like everybody else. I went to public school and then in private school, and it's not like fundamentally different math you learn. And then I went to college, and many years later I went back to school, to university, just to like test out my ability to learn with TechnoTutor. And I remember taking this class called multivariable calculus, which sounds crazy, but it's just calculus with more than two variables. It's the same shit, basically. It's just a little bit more, you're expanding it. Okay, that's all it is.
X's and Y's?
Yeah, it's in Z's too. Okay.
Oh, no.
Yeah, once you throw that Z in there, things get wild, I'm telling you.
Too many variables.
So it allows you to work with 3D surfaces, let's say, rather than just lines. Okay. And other things too. But anyway, so I remember the first day of class, he gave us this quiz. And it was like just basic questions about calculus, like definitions of stuff. And it was like, okay, like, fine, you know. And then he goes back through and he reads all everyone's answers. He kind of like, we'll look at them and be like, you know, Mr. Cope, it says, what is a limit? Or what is a derivative? And you said this, you know. And like, it may not make total sense because everybody knows what a derivative is already. But there's certain language you learn as the definition. And I'm just repeating that language, right? But there'll be words like the limit as x approaches something, c, okay? And he's like, what do you mean by approach? I'm like, well, you know, as it like gets closer to it. And he's like, is it actually like moving and getting closer to it? And I was like, well, no, it's not getting, it's not actually like approaching it. And he's just like the whole time asking these questions to show you. And then he makes this point at the end, like, you didn't actually learn any of this. You just memorized what the definitions were. And yes, you could apply some of it based on that, but you were taught how to apply it. You don't understand it.
Right.
And we were all like, fuck. So then we're in multivariable calculus. Okay. We're in multivariable calculus, which means you're starting from single variable calculus. You're supposed to start from there and go further, right? He goes back day one. He's like, all right, I'm going to write some definitions. I'm going to pose some problems. You're going to take these problems home. You're going to work on them. And you're going to come back the next class. And anybody who has solved a problem, you can let me know. And then you can present your solution to the class. and then we'll ask questions about it, and we'll just that's how it's going to be. And he wasn't even looking for necessarily if you got it right. It was just like your ability to apply thinking and so forth, right? So what's the first definition he puts on the board? Okay, the definition of the word point.
You're like, I got this.
And then, you know, he puts like point, I forget all the definitions, but like one of them was like function, right? And we're like, what? And then the first question is, I forget what the question was, but it's like he wrote like 3 questions down and people volunteered, like, I want that one, I want that one, I want that one. Right? So like it wasn't until the very end of the semester that we even got into multivariable calculus. And the problem that I took, I was like racking my fucking brain, dude. And I was like going into him because I was having anxiety of like, am I going to be able to solve this problem? And I'd be asking him questions. And I remember I went to the bathroom, okay? And there's the urinals, right? And he happened to have been in the bathroom. He was in there already. And he was like washing his hands or something. And I'm just like getting done. And I'm washing my hands. And he's like, how's your problem going? And I was like, oh, I'm thinking about all these. I'm like, tell him what I'm thinking about. So we're like standing there in the bathroom. And like, it just so happens that the walls are like tiled with like really small tiles.
Yeah.
And so we're like tracing imaginary graphs like on the tiles, and we're like having this conversation. He's like, well, maybe you should, what if you did this? Or what about this? He was more just like poking holes in my thinking than he was like telling me anything. And if you would ask him a question of like, is this correct? Or like a question of like asking him to tell you the answer to something, he would always be like, I don't know.
Dude.
And people would get so frustrated. Like, how does he not know? Like, you know, he's a professor. And he's like, no, he's just saying he doesn't know. He's not going to fucking tell you. Like, I'm not going to tell you if you're right or not. You reason it out and tell me what you think.
Cam, that reminds me of the scene from Slumdog Millionaire, you know, where the slumdog goes to the bathroom.
I don't remember.
He goes to the bathroom, and then, did you ever watch that movie?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So then the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire guy is also in the bathroom at the same time. And he's just had like a really hard question, like who's on the $100 bill or something. And the slumdog is like, I don't know this one. He had to take a break. He's in the bathroom. The Who Wants to Be a Millionaire guy comes in. And he's like, I can help you. And he gives him the wrong answer. He's like, it's this. It's C. Thomas Jefferson. And the slumdog is like, okay. And then he thinks about it. And he's just, your professor was the Who Wants to Be a Millionaire guy giving you the wrong answers.
Yeah. We just wouldn't give me any answers.
Yeah.
It was fun. That was my favorite professor, period. Because it was like, it wasn't even about getting through all the curriculum. It was just like, I mean, it's almost like you could just be reading this fucking shit on your own.
Yeah.
You know, so why do you need, he's like, I'm here to make sure you think mathematically. He's like, I'm not going to graduate you as a mathematics major and put my stamp of approval that you're a mathematician if you're not a mathematician. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about how much knowledge you acquired. It was like, are you actually applying proper thinking to things? And that's what he was constantly checking. So again, like you look at homeschooling and it's like they're just trying to do the other thing, which is just get you to memorize shit that you can get your diploma. And I'm like, that's not education.
No, they're just repeating
That's
school.
why you have to relearn it, because you didn't understand it in the first place. Like I'm not saying I'm definitely not a great mathematician. I don't consider myself a mathematician. I'm not. However, I do understand a lot of the math that was taught up through high school. I had to kind of develop an understanding to be able to tutor it, because you have to help them understand why they don't understand it. Right. And
Right,
I'm not
right.
in any way, I mean, there's a lot of things I don't understand, I'm sure, within math, but like I understand this stuff. So like I could talk about what a function is for 2 hours and you'll be like, wow, I never was told that. I was just told it was this. And that's why it was confusing.
Function is just anything that passes the vertical line test.
Right. Exactly.
That's
what
it.
they teach you.
That's it.
What is a function, Cameron, for all the
I'm
non-math
not going to
people?
go into
We don't have 2 hours.
I have to
Mitchell.
start with what's a point.
Yeah.
That's the
What's the
thing.
point?
I have to start
What
with
is
what's
the
a point.
point, Cameron?
What is a point?
Mitchell, a function is what black people call a party. That's a function.
Oh, I've been to a function. I
There
know
you
what a
go.
function is.
Yeah. There you go.
It's
I was
functions
just-
where they bring out the spicy barbecue sauce.
It could be a
Yes.
function. Could happen. out of
I will not
function.
give
Is
you
that
the
where
answer,
things have
Cameron. I will
flavor?
ask you to tell me your line of thinking.
No, but what you were just saying about like how homeschoolers are getting their kids to memorize things as well. It's like that's the psyop was so good. You just do the school at home
School.
now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like that's the fucking psyop.
They definitely don't want you to educate your child to really understand shit.
No, because this is war.
Exactly.
Yeah, all's fair.
All's
And then you
fair.
got the unschooling psyop,
yeah,
which is like your child's not gonna learn anything.
which is
But it makes
Even-
great Instagram reels when your kid's making like fucking homemade baked bread and walking in
or
nature,
they're in nature.
and they're
like,
just
this is a nature school. We're gonna learn about nature.
and you
I'll
see your
see
kids,
that,
they're
I'm
like
like-
they're like climbing on like rope ladders and shit, and you're like,
Yeah,
see
yeah.
what all the stuff they're learning, and like
it looks like fun as fuck. It looks so much.
yeah,
fun.
it looks awesome.
Yeah.
yeah,
Until
for
they turn off
2
the camera.
hours. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Here's the thing. The unschooling thing gets credited to John Taylor Gatto, but he didn't advocate like if you actually understood John Taylor Gatto, he was basically like Aristotle to these fucking kids. Like he was an incredible mentor. He understood things on a level where he could be like first of all, he had this incredible understanding himself of history, of just like life in general and how things operate. Business, like you guys realize, maybe people don't realize he was an ad man.
Yeah,
Like
he was like
like-
a madman.
he wasn't just some nobody off the street. He's just like, I'm just gonna come in here and
Yeah, no, exactly.
like he fucking knew shit.
Yeah.
So when he had kids in his class, he's like, why are you doing, I see you're doing this. Let me suggest something that makes even more sense than what you're like, because what you're doing is you're not going anywhere with that.
Yeah, like that kid who's like doing comics in the
Right,
back, and he's like,
right.
"Look, I'm gonna give you a pass to go to the library and study all these old comics and like talk to
Study
these people who
graphic
produce-"
design.
Yeah, and then you do that.
Then he got an
Right.
apprenticeship.
But he wasn't going, just do whatever. Like that's what
He was
Isn't
pointing
that
out
the-
the flaws within the school system, but then he
Right.
wasn't advocating unschooling.
right. Isn't that what unschoolers are like implying is like, just let the child lead. Like, okay, yeah, the kid wanted to do comics, but he's like, okay, but if you're gonna do comics, you gotta go all the fucking way with it. Like, you gotta like learn some shit. You
Yeah,
know?
like what are you putting in the comic?
right,
Like what's the information you're trying to convey here?
right. And then okay, you gotta make it appealing. Like this is a child's work, like go further, do more. There's so many fucking stories that go watch his.
But
5-hour
again, it's
interview
all
with him.
still not to say anything negative about him personally. It's just it's still in the acceptance of the system as is. It's like, okay, at least I'm gonna help these kids not be stuck where they're at in the system. I'm gonna try to help them move up a little bit.
That's the greater context of the psyop there.
Right.
Basically,
Basically, John Taylor Gatto is a psyop.
John Delgado is okay. So you have psyops, right? It's like remember that Alien Plato's allegory of the cave, where they take a bunch of prisoners, they drop them off on a prison planet, right? And or what they say is they drop them off on a planet, and they're surrounded by screens. They're in a dome where all the walls are screens, and it shows like daylight and birds and shit and whatever. And then they're all on grass. It's like an artificial turf or whatever. And food is dropped off for them. That's where they live. They have kids in this area because they live there, and the kids grow up there and that's all they know. They don't even know that they're the kids of prisoners or any of that. And then one day it's like some things are falling apart and one of the kids is looking and there's a hole there and he's like, oh, what's in this hole? And he goes and explores and he finds a way out of the prison. And he invites other kids and they come and they go and he comes back and he's like, guys, this is amazing. And some kids are like, no, we can't leave here. There's death outside of there. And, all this stuff. And he says, you know what? I'm just going to go out there. And then it's like an alarm goes off and people are coming after him, but he escapes out. And now he's out breathing fresh air in the real world. And then somewhere off in some warden's tower they get an alert that says prisoner escaped from level 1 to level 2 of 89
Yeah.
different layers of this prison. John Taylor Gatto's like, you escaped from level 1 to level 2. Great job. Great
It
job.
reminds me of Metamorphosis of Prime Intellect,
Yeah.
like at the end.
I gotta give John Taylor Gatto more credit than that. You know, it's
No,
more
he's
like
he's an OG.
he's OG. He's level 5. You know.
He was also educating you on how the elite operate.
Yes.
Like
yeah.
that's the other thing too. It's like embedded within all the discussion about the history of school. It's like teaching you about what's behind all of that,
Yeah.
how they educate.
And how the elite literally treat you like fucking animals.
Yes, but the elite are level 2 of the psyop.
Right. There's a lot of layers to this psyop.
Oh, I just saw this message on here, from Keith.
Mhm.
And I'm just reading it real fast. I'm not reading every word, but it seems like he was saying he wanted us to spoil freedom.
Yeah, actually, I was talking with Sandro earlier this week, and he's finished Freedom. So that was our metric,
Yeah,
for,
sorry.
like
Keith.
when we're allowed to start
slow.
spoiling. So
Once
yeah,
once Sanjo reads it, we can spoil it.
that's right. Because I don't know if you saw how
Keith,
long
I'm
it
so
took Sandro
excited
to
for
get
you
the
to
book.
read it, Keith.
What?
I'm just excited for Keith to read it.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be
Were you
great.
gonna say more?
I was gonna say we should get HUD glasses. That would be pretty cool. So I'm trying to like be able to see through walls, and like see if my cow needs to be milked. So that would be handy.
Okay. Okay.
Just
All right.
throwing out ideas, in case Max wants to do like some new experiment, he could probably invent.
Do it on you.
I really just
Glasses
want
like
a blue line to appear to tell me what to do.
I
No,
think
not that.
If I
Most
could
not
just
that part.
follow this blue line.
I think most people.
Not
would
that
like
part. I just want the data, Cameron.
But it's a cool point, the blue line thing, because that's what I see AI becoming.
It 100%.
Sure.
It's
It was
just
like
gonna
the white
become
light. Dude, there was this amazing fucking article I read on the Destiny website. It was right after the making the world acceptable to all. It's the next post, and it says accepting the gift of slavery.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Oh my god, y'all got to read that one.
That's good.
Yeah, yeah.
That was yeah. I just read it. Bernard can explain the point himself. It was so like, how do you put it? It really helps put into words the recognition of being in the process, like real time, and what we really have, like the gift of what we actually have. And then in a way that's like empowering, if I can say it. I mean, you could take it and you could say, oh, fuck this. Or you could take it and be like, oh, this is actually really helpful. Let me now go further. So, yeah, you should do that. Bluetooth cows, Keith. I don't know. Peter Thiel's
Imagine,
working on
like, okay, you're doing something that doesn't make sense. You don't realize you're doing it. You're not being honest about it. But you're not even fully living. So the problem isn't just the consequence. The problem is you're not actually living fully. But the consequence helps you realize that because you actually have limited yourself. And there's so much more. So that's one way I could paraphrase the point. It's not just you're in slavery and the problem is the slavery. The slavery is showing you something so that you can no longer accept it, and then you can go to the next level of the thing.
Yep. The awareness. I listened to this Jesse Michaels interview yesterday. So crazy. It was this kid who was like recruited through that GATE program at a school. It's a brand new one. Because I saw the little opener clip and he's like, yeah, basically what the military or whoever he was like being trained by, like they explained to me that consciousness and awareness aren't exactly the same thing. And like awareness is the underlying reality of everything. So it was like learning how to essentially place my awareness or like to become the awareness within things and all that. So anyway, I was just listening to that. I was driving somewhere last night. I'm like, that was, it was I am not out there in the system looking for other stuff to give me the answers, but to hear how this kind of shit you would see in movies. I've never watched Stranger Things, but the whole time they're like, it's like real life Stranger Things. I don't know. Did you guys ever watch Stranger Things?
I did.
Yeah, but I didn't probably watch enough to get to that
Okay.
part of it.
But
watched
apparently
the
it's about like
first-
how they.
Oh, Mitchell, we cannot hear you.
Yeah. Okay. My bad. 1 second.
No.
There we go.
No.
But it was public school. So shout out public school for doing this, right? They go public school, and then there'd be this gifted and talented program, and then they started slowly but surely working him out of there, and then they would take him to these like undisclosed locations, basically, and because as a kid he had this psi ability where he's able to have more. I don't know. ESP. I mean, watch Cameron's live stream. He explains it. But
Mitch,
just hearing
did you ever go through that gate program?
no.
No.
Dude, I was in Gifted and Talented when I was a kid, and either like I just didn't have the psi abilities, or at some point I'm gonna access some repressed fucking memories.
So what happened to this guy is this was in like 2023 or something. As an adult now, he's like running a company. He's under a lot of stress from that, and then his girlfriend broke up with him, so he had this like panic attack or something. And then all this suppressed shit from his childhood started coming out of like years and years of him being like drugged and all this. But he was saying some of the most outlandish shit I've ever heard on one of those interviews. Like some
Dude,
word.
like,
Yeah.
okay, you guys know me. I'm not skeptical, generally speaking. However, when I learned that Jesse Michaels is
It was part of
an
Peter
investor at Teal Capital,
Yes.
I was like,
So he used to work in his
Oh.
office, I think. Like I thought that was his first introduction. He used to be in Peter Thiel's group, and then he.
yeah. Well, what I read, according to some fucking shit I read, it's like he's still an investor there.
He's basically
Yeah.
Peter Thiel's R&D guy. He's like getting all the info from like, oh, aliens? Yeah. All right, Peter, this guy right here. He knows something, you know?
Or it's, I mean, okay, all of these guys, like, it kind of lends to the point of we need to build the AI. It also helps create the psyop, the confusion that people have, because you see all these different people, all these crazy stories, so you don't know what's real anymore. I don't know. It's weird.
Dude, yeah. So this is what it says. He's an investor at Teal Capital, which is Teal's personal family office and venture investment firm. Michaels evaluates and funds early stage hard tech and esoteric startups on behalf of Teal's firm. And he's also the host of this podcast.
Yeah, like he's an investor there, meaning he's like a person who helps them decide what to invest in.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, I don't trust him.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like, what is there to trust? But my question is like, you know, you hear that stuff about the GATE program, and I'm like, I mean, I guess the reason why it seems unlikely is just because probably most children who would have gone through it didn't go through all that part. It's, you know,
Right.
so again, I'm not saying
what
it
do they call it?
couldn't
The
have happened.
propedeutic function? This is like the next level of
Right.
the propedeutic function of the psyop of the system.
Because I don't have any memories like that. I don't have any recollection of ever having, like, I was in Gifted and Talented in different schools and stuff, and there was never anything like that for me. I never put on the headphones and drink the pink drink.
I did drink the pink drink.
You drank the pink drink?
That
I did
explains
drink
things.
the pink drink.
Really?
That just makes you gay.
Hey. I do remember those headphones.
Really?
But I just remember them like shuttling us off to different schools. Like they would put us on a bus and send us to
Really?
a different school where we
Uh-oh,
would do.
Drake.
That was just segregation.
It was me and the Chinese kid.
Like, it was always me and like all the other black kids for some reason. They'd always send us off to a different school.
All the really smart black kids.
And then they would have the GT program at the school I left.
Yeah. Yeah, that's funny.
But yeah, it was probably just you and a Chinese kid.
It was me and the Chinese kid. I remember. No, there was a white kid too.
Yeah, I was not gifted and talented enough, I guess. Oh well.
That's too bad, Mitchell. That's too bad.
Yeah, I was like
Yeah.
I was like a solid B student all around.
I wasn't even a good student.
Yeah, only in college.
How do
learned
they?
how
Okay,
to game the system.
I want to look into that. How do they even determine?
Who's a
Because
A
I
and
would
a
have
B
that would have
student?
been for me would have been the early '90s, in the
Who do-
early
who they-
nine.
What? How do they determine who's in gifted and talented?
Yeah, how do they determine that? Who is in gifted and talented?
Oh, they had me do some sort of like pattern recognition IQ test. I remember.
Oh, guys, yeah, standardized IQ tests, usually requiring an IQ of 130 or higher.
Okay.
So there you go. So we have high IQs. Sorry, Mitch.
Well, good thing I have TechnoTutor. So
It hasn't helped me.
yeah, it's so interesting. Like,
What a flex. Yeah, we have high IQs. It didn't do anything different for our lives. It just
I got into a lot of places that I wanted to get out of.
yeah, right.
yeah, seriously, it shows you how the psyop of the system will pull you in.
It's just IQ. That's literally all the fuck it is.
Dude, so I was at this event last night. I was talking to this guy who I don't know if he's still in the military. He's like in the intelligence part of the army. He knew Jess's brother as well. But he's cool. He's local now. He runs some coffee shop. He homeschools his kids, whatever. So we were chatting last night. And it was fascinating because he was a linguist in the army. So he was telling me that in the army, when they had to like rapidly teach someone languages, he explains how there's this IRL test or something with language. And it's like there's 5 levels. One is like pre-verbal. One is like, basic sentences. Level 3 would be like Seneca's book right there. Let's say level 4 is like, you're talking about you have the ability to understand. Yeah, seriously, level 3 is where there's like joking involved and sarcasm and humor, because that requires another level of understanding. So level 4 is where you talk about very abstract concepts like politics, religion, economics, etc. And he said level 5, the highest level, he said is where you're very specialized. And I was like, oh. Like, it wasn't the time or place for me to then explain how like that's all retarded because it's from the system. Because I was more just looking at like, how do I now actually meet up with this guy? Because we were at an event. But it was a perfect epitome of the psyop of the system. Because from their perspective, high vocabulary fits into one of those 5 boxes. Like the higher your vocabulary, it's like, okay, how do we now specialize you into the system? Where the real actual effective vocabulary is where you can redefine every word in the context of what's best for all, and have the ability to specialize and have the ability to generalize. Both. But
Well,
of
you
course,
need to have a generalized understanding of things to know if your specialization is causing a consequence somewhere else.
Right.
But if you want to be in control of that, you get a bunch of specialized IQs to do the different compartments of what you want. I mean, that's really what Elon Musk does. Like, he gets a bunch of specialized IQs to do the work and to build the shit, but he's the one who has like the overarching vision of the point.
Yeah. It's interesting. He told me, he's like, so I used to be a door knocker. I'm like, oh. He's like, yeah, in where Afghanistan or whatever. He's like, yeah, so you surveil these people for like 2 weeks. You figure out they're the ones funding the person, setting the IEDs. You show up at 1:30 a.m., knock on their door and say, U.S. military got to come with us. And if they fight it, you got to take them by force. He's like, but then they'll have like 8 kids and the kids don't know that side of their dad. So now you have 8 kids who hate America. He's like, I did that a few too many times and realized this ain't solving shit. So I don't know if he got out, but it was cool because now
I think he went deeper.
Yeah, well, he was explaining though how he has a coffee shop now, and he's like, he wants to sit down and see what we do, because he's trying to figure out how he can take all the different groups in his town and get them to actually start communicating with each other. Because he's like, we have 5 very distinct groups, like the East Africans, the farmers, like the elite private school kids, the Central American and Mexican immigrants, and he was very open to the idea that he's like, oh, just because or like the understanding that language is actually the building block of it all. I'm like, yeah, sounds like you got a Tower of Babel type situation going on right now, and none of them can talk to each other. He's like, yeah, he's like, I'm trying to get them to all come in and have conversations, but like, they're not like communicating. I'm like, yeah, we should talk.
Because they're just
Cameron.
Cliffhanger.
Oh, Cam, we lost you. The Starlink. This episode brought to you by Starlink. It will drop.
This
It will
episode
drop.
blocked by
This
Starlink.
episode partially brought to you by Starlink.
And yeah, that's where we're at. Yeah.
Well, we'll just have to wait. You guys want to take a little trip down memory lane here for a moment?
Oh, yeah. You gonna take us on a trip?
We're gonna take a trip down memory lane for a moment.
Go for it.
Cam, if you come back, let's just look at this for a moment. You see my screen?
Yep.
Episode 1. What did we look like 5 years ago?
Hey, everybody.
Wow, look at us. Drake, you didn't even have glasses. God damn.
I think I just took them off.
Look at these guys. Haven't seen them in a bit. I don't even know where I am. Cameron's in Houston. Cult of Perfection.
So let's just look at.
Oh. Look at us.
Wow.
Look at us.
Yeah, this was a long time ago.
Wow. See. Wow, this is hilarious. Where am I? Am I in my apartment? I don't even know where I was.
Yeah, that must have been.
Let's look at how we've evolved. Oh yeah, when Jess used to be on the podcast.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh my God, look at us now. Drake, you look so official. Just got your haircut. Now let's fast forward to when did we get banned from YouTube, guys?
That was like
Born Again
episode
Pagan. We had some radical names here.
129
Sea God's in here.
or 120.
Which one is Deep Fake Chopra? That one got us banned. Shortcut to Hell. Dude, we have some funny ass names on here. NPC drama. Boostin' and Trickin'.
Yeah, I think
Zombie Kool-Aid. Holy shit, we've done this.
I feel like it was like 125 or something. Where
No, it was like clearly when
I don't know.
Hot Road in Summer, that was a good one. Look at this.
You think it was in the 200s
Chino.
that we got banned?
Yeah, it would have been right around here.
Oh, maybe you're right.
I think
actually.
Deepfake Chopra got taken off.
Right.
Yeah, that was a big one. So, anyway, good times. Wow, we all started living in a different place.
Okay, I'm back.
Now we're here.
He made it.
Hey, we missed
it was just
again.
an EMP.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, we were saying this episode is brought to you in part by Starlink. In part.
Only in part though.
Only
Or not
We were
that
just taking
part.
a trip down memory lane, Cameron, looking at some old. Do you see that?
No.
Some old pictures of the podcast. Oh, I just got to show you one of these, Cameron. Remember back when you were in Houston?
Cameron doesn't need to see
One
that.
time you had no beard. Where was that one? Cult of Perfect. Look at this, Cam.
so let's just look at.
I was also about like 30 pounds heavier.
Good times.
It was the number of books. It's in relation to my weight. So I took off
You took off like
quite a few of the books.
I
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's the key.
That'll do it.
Oh, I just wanted to say a quick happy Father's Day to Anu.
To
Father
honor.
God. Thanks for always taking responsibility for us so we don't have to do shit.
Thanks for taking responsibility for trapping all of us, including yourself.
Yes.
Thank you for the gift of slavery.
Yeah. Guys, how does nobody see it? That
Can't see it.
responsibility is the key.
NSA says that Mythos broke into almost all of its classified systems in hours.
Dude.
Really? Is this
Dude. That's exactly what you were saying.
senator was reporting on this. He's the vice chair of the Intelligence Committee.
Mythos.
Wow.
What a name.
No, this is like, okay,
That was why they immediately told them to cut off access to foreigners. That's why now I'm seeing that.
okay, but remember last
Because they were
month-
like, dude, fuck.
or
Like,
last
this
week- last
thing.
week,
Yeah.
when we were talking about it, right? And we were talking about how it's a black box, right? And you can put in information. If you don't want somebody to find out what that information is, you can put it into this black box, and then you can recall the information by asking it specific questions.
So then at some point, can an AI hack the AI? Let's say there's this one megabot AI that's a mega black box. Could you build another AI that could somehow start to prompt that other AI? And
Yeah, obviously you have to know the
Perhaps.
questions to ask.
Yeah.
But you know that whole saying of like the answer is in the question?
Yeah.
It's like proving that
wow.
to everybody. Yeah, the black box thing is a separate point. This is just the
No, but I'm
cyber
saying-
hacking capabilities.
But I'm saying this is the setup to say why the AI knows all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like this is the front facing, oh, it broke into all our stuff. So now we've got to maybe delete all that stuff. But then it's already in the AI.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know?
Yeah.
It-
Okay.
it's a beautiful cover story.
Like it could break into our classified systems where the classified information is. We need to get rid of it and just put it into an AI that's secure, and then you won't ever see it again.
Right,
Yeah, definitely. I can see it plays into that.
dude. Well, there you go. So now the AI knows all the classified stuff, apparently. Already. So, and also, you don't have to now come up with a, like, oh, we got to get Congress's approval or we have to explain everything to everybody. It happened, which is kind of how it's been happening for the last several years of news cycles, where it's just like, oh, this accidentally happened. And I guess we're going to just go along with it now. We're just going to keep that thing going. You know?
Yeah.
So you don't have to ask for consent from the American public. Everyone's like outraged for a minute, and then, but we're still doing that thing. You know?
Outrage is the psyop.
Because the rage is out.
Rage against the machine.
Mm.
The machine stops.
Ah.
The buck stops here.
The rage
Oh.
against the machine stops.
Be here now.
Yes.
Dude, I went through on one of the streams recently the whole song. You know that song? We were talking about ironic processing theory. Oh, I told you about this. I don't think you probably didn't hear this stream. It was, I don't remember how I got on this topic, but you know the whole idea of don't think of a white elephant, that kind of thing,
Pink
whatever. Don't think of a white elephant.
Don't
I
think
think
They did
White
this-
Elephant is
Christmas
the
gift?
name of a Christmas party, yeah.
Yeah, that's why I don't
Christmas
think
game.
about it.
Oh, okay.
That's why I'm saying don't think about that.
I'm thinking about it.
No, but don't, because it's not the right.
Don't think about a white elephant.
Nice callback to Santa.
You mean Satan?
Yes. No, but the whole thing is they did these experiments where they told one group to think about they said white elephant. Okay, so don't think about a white elephant. They told the other group, don't think about a white elephant. And then afterwards, they had them ring a bell every time they thought about a white elephant.
Okay,
And the group they told not to think about it, ring it more.
of course.
But they were showing when you try to suppress a thought, it actually makes it more compulsive to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And they were tying this to all kinds of stuff, like people who are compulsive eaters. When they suppress the thought about eating, it actually makes them more compelled to eat.
People
And I was
who
like,
try to
dude, like this is a perfect
quit
example of,
pornography.
huh?
People who try to quit pornography, and they're like, oh,
I shouldn't think about it.
no.
But
fat.
it really, if you tie it back to Destiny, it's like the self-expression point, the forgiveness point, like expressing it, writing it out, forgiving it, not just trying to suppress it. Like, oh, that's a bad thought. That's a bad thought. That's a bad thought. Anyway, so then we were talking about irony. So I was like, why are they using the word ironic? Right? Because the definition of irony, pure and simple, is an outcome that is different than what you expected. Right? That's all it is. So there's an outcome that's not what you expected. That's what irony means. Then there's all types of irony, like dramatic irony, whatever.
Okay, yeah.
So then I was thinking about that song, Isn't It Ironic by Alanis Morissette,
Yeah.
right? And I
It's
was like,
rain. I don't know the rest actually.
but then I was like, is that ironic though?
Is it?
I don't know anything about the song.
You don't know this? You don't know the song? Isn't it ironic?
Isn't it ironic? Don't you think? You don't know the song? The hell?
Do they play it at like grocery store? Is it like that level of
Definitely.
mainstream?
Probably. Yeah. Oh yeah. Like it was like a mega hit back in the day.
I'll listen to it.
Back in like the grunge era. Not that it's grunge, but that whole era. 90s, late 90s. Probably, I guess. You know who Alanis Morissette is, right?
Not really.
He does not. He doesn't know.
Isn't
ironic?
that ironic?
Isn't that ironic?
Oh yeah, I know the song.
You're listening to it right now.
Oh, you listened to it. Okay.
Yeah.
Isn't it ironic that you didn't think you knew it? Okay,
Whoa,
so
she's going crazy in this song. Holy shit! I'm watching this music video. That's enough.
He's not just listening to the song. He's watching the music. He's like,
Well, I was just fast forward. I was like,
fuck yeah.
is that the one where she's like nude on a subway?
Yeah.
Is that
Oh.
a different one? Okay, so if you look at the lyrics, it says all these things like, you know, when it rains on your wedding day. I forget the other ones. There's other ones, right?
He won the lottery. Old man turned 98. Won the lottery. Died the next day.
Right. And I was asking the AI, I'm like, are any of these examples of irony? And it was like, with the exception of like one thing she uses, like none of them are examples of irony. They're just coincidences.
Well, it's just things you don't want to happen. It's a black fly
Right,
in
but
your
not wanting
Chardonnay.
it to happen isn't the same as irony. So it's subtle. But
Okay,
it was like, I was like, wait. And I asked it, I was like, is that ironic? That,
oh,
and it was like, yes. That's actually the real irony. It's a meta irony. The fact, and then I was looking up interviews
Damn.
like where Alanis Morissette and the producer didn't even realize that the examples weren't ironic. It was just, you know, you made up a catchy sound and like, okay, you're coming up with stuff. You're not really thinking too hard about it, you know?
Here-
And
this
so they
one's
didn't even
ironic.
realize that
That's
that
hilarious.
Was, that the,
That's
so
so
that's
funny.
the actual irony of the song.
It's a death row pardon 2 minutes too late. That is ironic. That is ironic.
A what?
A death row pardon 2 minutes too late.
Okay.
I'll give it that one. Yeah. Rain on your wedding day. That's not ironic.
Seems like it should be though, because
Uh,
you were expecting it not to rain, but it's just what, like, I don't know why it's not ironic. I could just see subtly it's not, just because you expected it. Well, but that is the definition. What is an
But
example?
isn't it
of
more
irony?
like intentionality is a factor in something that's actually ironic? Like if you're intending a certain course of action
maybe?
and then it backfires. I don't actually know. I don't actually have.
Like in Oedipus, when he tries to escape the tragedy, or the prophecy rather.
yeah,
He
yeah,
ends
yeah,
up
yeah.
fulfilling the prophecy. I would say perhaps that's irony.
Well, like the act, especially the fact that the actions of trying to escape it cause it to be fulfilled.
Yeah, I don't know if it's technically irony.
So
That would
if
be ironic.
they build all these data centers to try and save the world and end up destroying the world,
Okay, that would be
play
ironic.
Alanis Morissette over the loudspeaker.
It's like rain.
Yeah. The AI is like heavily programmed with that song. And it's just that all the time, and it like turns. It's like its avatar is Alanis Morissette.
Yeah. Oh man.
It says situational irony is when the outcome of an event is the exact opposite of what was reasonably expected.
yeah.
A fire station burning down, or a marriage counselor filing for divorce. But that's not the same as rain on your wedding day, because I mean, I guess if you read the weather and you're like, oh, it's not supposed to rain, but then
But
it does.
that's
it's
not
the
reasonably
same.
expected.
Yeah, it's
you
not
know?
that- there's-
like,
it's
it's gonna
missing
rain.
something.
But yes, having a song called Ironic and not having examples of irony.
James Naismith, the man who invented basketball in 1891, is the only losing coach in the history of the University of Kansas. The site in Rome where Julius Caesar was murdered is now a no-kill animal shelter for homeless cats.
That's
I
a
don't know.
stretch.
That's a stretch. That's a stretch.
That's some AI shit. right
Verbal
there.
irony is kind of like sarcasm. I think that's what most people think when they think of irony, probably.
Mhm.
Like, I was being ironic.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? Looking out the window at a freezing blizzard and saying, what perfect beach weather. Spilling an entire cup of hot coffee on your shirt right before a big meeting and saying, oh, great, just what I needed today.
Okay.
Dramatic irony. In a horror movie, the audience sees the killer hiding in the closet, but the protagonist confidently walks into the room unaware.
Yep, that sucks. All
Hey
that
guys, so I
sucks.
ended up not going to see Disclosure Day because I was like, this is retarded.
Oh, you didn't? Why not?
And you're just
What
now
happened?
disclosing this to us?
You fucking lied to us. You
Ironic.
had us all hyped up for a fucking month.
You had us all hyped
I
up to
know.
tell us what we're not going to watch.
I know. And then I was like, this just looks so lame.
You know what it is? It's like you were talking earlier about the people who are like afraid of becoming wealthy because they don't want the power that'll corrupt them. Mitch was like, dude, I don't know, this might psyop me.
I get
This might be the one.
He's like, I watched Schindler's List and
I actually have not seen Schindler's List either.
Anyway, I'm gonna look up Disclosure Day. I'm sure it's available online by now.
No, I wanted to go get the full movie effect, surround sound, really experience it.
I
really
heard
just
you.
blast your body with sound waves of
You said that like a
psyop
million
sound
times.
waves.
And what happened?
I don't know, Mitch. You
I just
suppressing
didn't
it.
have time for it, honestly. I was like, I'm not going to go waste 3 hours doing this.
That's the thing, man. 3 hours just to watch a movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just-
I could read so many books.
I know. That's what I've realized too. Because that movie, Project Hail Mary, Max has told me multiple times that it was his favorite book that he recommended. I asked him, like, do you have a favorite book you recommend? He's like, Project.
I can't hear you, Mitch.
How ironic.
No, that's. Can you fucking
How
stop touching your
ironic.
microphone?
How ironic. I think, guys,
Every
I
time. it's
think
like,
I'm in
every
the
time you
gifted
look-
and talented program and I'm psionic.
Cameron.
2/3 of this podcast is gifted and talented. Guess which third is not. Although I will admit, you're gifted and talented at touching your mic.
I went all the way in the program. Unlike you guys, you didn't get the special abilities.
Oh, actually, the real gifted and talented
manipulate.
program was they took all the smart kids out of the classroom so they could do experiments on the other ones.
that was me in the classroom.
Nope. I'm sorry, Mitchell. I'm sorry that happened to you.
Sorry, you weren't good at recognizing patterns on a piece of paper.
Yeah. Sorry. You
I don't
didn't,
remember ever taking an IQ test when I was a kid.
Oh, really?
No, I
I-
don't remember ever.
I do. There was a whole story about it too. It was like I was at school.
You were like in the newspaper.
No. I was at a private school, and I was failing. I was failing my class. I was failing second grade because,
Really?
well, yeah, I was
Why
totally
were you
failing
failing
second
second grade?
grade. Well, because I would do my tests and get 50% on them. Because I would take a test, I'd get 100% on one side, but I wouldn't flip it over, and I'd just turn it in.
Plus, you were lazy.
Apparently, yes.
Ah.
And I would get up and just walk around in the classroom. And the teacher had so many complaints about me. He says, he was just failing me. They called my mom into the principal's office. And they're like, ma'am, your child is failing. We think he has ADHD or some shit. We're going to put him on Ritalin. Or
Would you do it?
they didn't say we're gonna put him on Ritalin. They said we suggest you go get a Ritalin prescription for him.
Do you get it?
And no, no,
It's a
why
good
would I
thing.
do that?
Here, you guys want to look at some practice questions?
Anyway,
For IQ
They-
test?
they took
Yeah,
me
I
out
got
of that
some.
school and put me
Yeah,
in a
let's do
different
it.
school. And at the different school, they were like, he needs glasses. He keeps walking around to see the board.
Glasses or classes?
Glasses. He needs glasses. He can't fucking see. That's
He
why
needs
he's walking
meta
around
glasses.
all the time. And then they're like, and also we want to give him an IQ test. It doesn't seem like he needs to be in this classroom. And then that's what happened.
All right,
What'd
here
you
you go.
score?
This is apparently a difficult pattern recognition.
Ooh, complete the matrix.
That's fucking easy.
All right, Mitchell.
Actually, no,
What-
it's not.
What goes in that question mark? Mitchell, we're gonna do a live IQ test for you
Oh shit.
in front of everyone. Let's go.
All it is they're rotating this one that way. They're rotating this one that counterclockwise. So they're
Yeah.
rotating the first one clockwise. Is that right? Clockwise. No,
Counterclockwise.
no, this one's not counterclockwise.
No, there's not
Oh,
even
yeah,
the
it is.
same-
It is counterclockwise. Yeah.
That is counterclockwise.
So this one's, if it's clockwise, it would be inverted like this. And if they inverted this one counterclockwise, it'd be like this.
No.
Hang on.
Wait, what the hell?
Counterclockwise? No, it wouldn't be
What'd I
B.
say?
You said B. No way it would be B.
No, it would be.
Oh yeah, it'd be F, right? Sorry. Yeah.
It'd be F.
Or
Yeah,
it could even
It would be pointing down, which I thought, but then I
Hang
just
on.
skipped down.
Yeah, it's F.
All right, let's do F.
This
You
is
must
supposed to be
enter your
Mitchell's.
email.
Correct.
Only 54% got this right.
What?
Well,
let's try another
you
one.
Take these online.
All right, Mitchell,
Here we go.
take a good look. Right?
Oh my god, dude! Like it's so fucking easy.
Okay, Mitchell, what are you thinking?
Hang on. Shut your mouth.
This one actually. Oh.
It's not.
Okay, Mitchell, you got this.
Hang on.
It would have to be either A, C, or F. Or no, it could be B too. Actually, it could be any. It's not D.
It's just opposite.
What's the circle doing though? Oh, circles. Circle. Oh no. Okay. No,
I mean, I'm kind of looking at the left side one and the right side one.
well, no, circles confusing me, guys. Circles throwing me off here. Let me start with the dot.
All right, let's see the comments. Let's see what's everybody
All right,
saying in the
everyone,
comments.
hop in on this.
Oh,
What
this
do you
one's
got?
tricky, man. This one's kind
What
of
do you
tricky. Okay, let me tell you what I'm thinking. So you got this
Tell me what you're
triangle.
thinking. Yeah,
The triangle goes down and then it goes down again.
yeah.
The triangle goes here in the middle and then over there.
Yeah.
Can you see my mouse?
But
Yeah.
it doesn't actually travel in the middle one.
It stops in the middle. So
Well-
I'm looking at the second row. The triangle's on the right, then it's in the middle, then it's on the left.
Yeah.
Or they've doubled up the circle. I can't see.
Okay,
The
but then,
triangle goes in a straight line.
and then on the top one, if the triangle goes from the top right corner, sorry, the bottom one, top right corner to the middle, I would assume it's in the bottom left corner. That's why I'm thinking it
Right.
can't be D. Now the circles throw me off because on the top line it goes middle, up, middle. Then on the middle one it goes left, middle, right. And on the bottom one it goes bottom corner, middle.
Yeah, okay. And then the dot, what's the dot doing?
The dot is going middle, down, middle, up, over, back. So it's middle, left, middle. But then it starts doing some diagonal shit.
It starts doing some diagonal shit. What the fuck is happening here?
Fucking diagonal shit.
All right, so
It's fucking...
here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking it's got to be either, well, not D, obviously, not D.
Now, if you couldn't
Um,
look at the answers, could you get it?
Well, but that's the heart of it. You're supposed to look at the answers.
Yeah, you're supposed to confuse yourself by looking at the answers. Like it could be this one.
It's supposed to be
Also
confusing.
this one. Okay, let's see. I would say not that. So it's got to be either. I'm gonna say not F.
Oh, wait.
Um,
Oh, no, never mind.
Could be C, not B.
But the triangle wouldn't it have to be in the bottom left.
Triangle has to be bottom left,
That's what I would
which is
say.
everything but D.
That seems everything but D.
Right.
I would think it has to be in the bottom left. But the circle,
Could either be top left
oh, wait.
or bottom right.
Did
Is
they
it
just
just
switch
you-
places? The circle
no.
goes to the middle and comes back diagonally. And the dot goes to the middle and then comes back. So that would be like C.
That's what I was saying. C.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah,
I think C
but,
makes the most sense.
but
from that
okay,
perspective.
so circle crosses in the middle one. It goes across, right? So it goes left, center, right.
Yeah. But in the top one, it doesn't.
Right. And in the top one, the dot goes middle, down, middle. In the middle, it goes middle, left, middle. So we can expect that it has to be the bottom right is going to be, or sorry. The dot has to be in the middle. So it's either A or C.
Oh, yeah, it can't jump.
Yeah.
So
Has
the
to be either
dot
A or
couldn't
C.
be in B. In A, yeah, it could go there. But oh,
The only question is A or C. That's it.
because with A,
The circle crosses over to the other side.
yeah,
for
but why doesn't
A-
it cross over in the first row? Or why does it go back
Oh, okay,
up?
okay. I got it.
So the dot always returns.
I think it's A.
So the dot always returns. The circle.
Why does the circle not
Ret-
return?
I think
The
it's A.
circle doesn't return, and the triangle. Just goes on a line.
Okay, so look, if you look at the
So the
first
triangle stays on the same line.
the first row, right? The triangle just goes in a straight line, top,
So
middle, bottom.
Yeah,
If you look at the second row, the triangle goes left, middle,
middle left.
uh,
or right, middle,
right,
left, yeah.
middle, left. Sorry, yeah. And then if you look at the bottom row, it would make sense that it's going diagonally to the left.
Yeah,
So top right, middle, bottom left, right?
yeah.
That one's pretty easy, which rules out D. But D is the only one that rules out. Then
the
you
only
look.
one is the circle. That's the one that.
I got it though.
I think okay. Does it have to do with how many are doing diagonals?
We'll look at it. If you look at the top one, if you go for the row, it's middle, up, middle. If you go to the second row, it's left, middle, right. And then if you go in the bottom row, it's unclear. It's bottom right, middle, and then it could seem like it would go back to bottom right, but it never goes back. The circle never goes back to its original position.
Yes, it does. And in the first line.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Sorry about that. Forgot about that. I'm sorry.
That's what
But
makes it tricky.
if you look at the columns, right? For the top one, the first column, rather, it's center, left, right. For the middle column, it's center, 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 right? So that means for the right column, it would make sense if it's center, right, left.
Wait, explain that last part. What's the center you're talking about?
The circle in the column, just the circle. It stays in the center rather than going to the left or right.
Okay. But then how does that influence the third spot, the right column?
It would seem like it would go center, right, left.
Center, right. Wait, what?
Wait, or hold on. Or hold on. Look at the triangle. It moves. It's in 3 different positions.
Yeah.
But the other ones don't do that.
Yeah.
So 2 of them are not doing 2 different positions. They're going back and forth. In the second one, no, see, but that defeats what I was going to say, because in the second one, the triangle moves and the circle moves.
Oh, also the dot. If you're just looking at the dot in the first row, it's middle, down, middle, right?
Mhm.
The second column or second row rather is up, middle, left, middle, and then up, middle again. And then in the third column or third row, sorry, it's middle. So it always goes back. It always goes back to where it was. So it would make sense that it's in the center. That's why I'm saying it's either A or C,
Yeah.
right?
But the question is the circle like doesn't always go back. One time it does.
Yeah, but that's only because it's
One time
in
it
the
doesn't.
center. Okay. Oh, also, well, no, that doesn't really help. But I did notice that the circle is in the middle row. It's on the left side, middle, in the center, dead center, on the right side, dead center, right? In the top, it's dead center, then middle, dead center, then the right is also dead center, right?
Mm.
And then on
So
the
it stays on the
bottom-
same plane. The circle stays on the same plane.
Not exactly, no. Not exactly, because it's
Unless also everything has to do two where they stay the same and one where they don't.
but the triangle doesn't do that.
We don't know. It could be the third
It
one could
doesn't-
be the one where it stays the same.
Okay, so my guess is fuck.
Like, okay, let's look at that for a second. If
gonna
it
say
stayed the
it's A, but I
same,
don't
if
know.
it went back, that would be D. And then the dot would go back as well. How many times did it go back already? It already did that twice, though.
Yeah, the dot goes back each time.
But then my theory was it has to do it only twice. So that wouldn't
Oh, I
work.
see what you're
So,
saying.
but that wouldn't work because D wouldn't work that way. See, I think part of it also isn't necessarily only seeing the pattern. It's looking at the answers and seeing which of those it could be that could make a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? But
Yes.
then it still makes me think like C or D, right?
Not A?
Or, sorry, I meant A.
C or
A or C.
Yeah.
Because the circle just goes back, the dot goes back, and the triangle, what would the triangle be doing? It would either be going all the way. Oh no, the triangle would be the same. It's just a matter whether the circle goes back or not.
That's the question.
It's really unless we're totally off base.
Nah, it's got to be one of those.
So the question is, why would the circle go back, or not?
All right, let's see.
Right,
What
because
the-
in the top one it does, and
what's
in
the
the
chat
middle
say?
one.
Yeah, it's like in the middle. It's in a row, and it goes back. But then when it's in
Okay.
a row, the next time it goes.
But now, does it have something to do with the relative position to the other ones? Like, does it not overlap with other ones or something?
Isn't this so much fun, guys?
The triangle's moving
Imagine the people just
twice,
listening
even
to it,
if it's
not looking at
vertical
it.
or horizontal. Is it based on whether it starts in the middle or not? When I say in the middle, I mean not on an edge.
Yeah.
So like the circle starts in a middle, it goes back. Not in the middle, like literally center square, but like not on a corner is what I mean.
Yeah.
So like the
But-
circle when it's
But it
no,
goes
but
through in
it
the
contradicts
middle
that
row.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that does.
So it would really be if it's not. What the fuck? Okay, so if it's here's my final answer. Is if the circle starts in the middle, it returns to the middle, and if it's not in the middle, it just follows the line. So I'm gonna say A, final answer.
Okay, but also B, right? B, what if the dot and the circle both just. Oh, no, wait. Could the circle end up. It could have started in the corner, gone in the middle, gone over. The dot. Oh, yeah, no, the dot couldn't be back because it wouldn't have gone back there. Yeah, so B doesn't make sense. B doesn't make sense.
No, the dot. I think.
What is
has
what
to
is the
be-
chat saying?
The chat is not giving us
I
anything.
said not fun, and I'm lost.
Not
My,
fun.
my final
Okay.
answer is A. I stand by what I said. What do you guys say?
I don't know, dude. I don't know if it's
So who's got a higher IQ?
If the
one
circle's
who's
going
willing to be
back?
bold and make a decision, or the one who's pondering?
yes. IQ is all about boldness.
Yes. Yes.
It's all about guessing. I mean, maybe there's some truth.
Hey,
to that.
I think I have the best theory.
What's the theory?
If the circle starts in the middle, it returns. Otherwise, if it starts on the not in the middle, it goes just over. So that's my guess. Is then it on the bottom row, it starts not in the middle, so then it goes to the middle in the middle column, and then the final one is it's going to be in top left corner for A. Final answer.
Let's see.
I like your confidence.
So okay, so that means the circle would
Hey, if
jump.
I get this, I get breaking rights that have higher IQ than you
The
guys.
circle would jump, right?
And if I don't get it right, you guys can say you have higher IQ than
Wait, but what about why does the dot? Why does the dot return? Oh, but I guess they're the same. It doesn't really matter. It's just about the circle, isn't it? Okay, so Mitch is saying if the circle starts not on an edge, it returns.
I would kind of need to know though, like who made this test. Is that like a thing?
I,
that
I
they-
think you're probably right, Mitch. That's the only one that makes logical sense as to a reasoning. Because for
Yeah.
C, you'd have to be guessing as to why the circle returns.
Yeah.
But I can't say it's an established pattern, but it's the only one that you could reason it
I
out.
think
Aaliyah
A
agrees
makes
it's A.
the most sense to me just because it it's A, guys. I think it's A just because if you
'cause
do
Mitch said so.
the top row, the circle goes center up, center, right? If you do the middle row, then it goes across, and then also when you do the columns, it's like okay, the left side is center, left, and right. The middle is just straight in the middle. And then the right side, it would make sense to me if it went middle, right, left. And then it would also go across as well.
I didn't understand any of that. 'Cause I was thinking.
Wait. This black dot's got me second guessing my answer. Because the black dot.
Well, the dot, the only other option I could see for the dot is staying in the center or going up to the top left corner.
Yeah,
Right.
maybe it's B. Shit.
No. Going
Yeah,
up
we
to the
talked
top
about
left
that
corner?
though.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't make sense to me.
Because the black dot return in the top line. The black
No, it
dot
doesn't make
returns.
sense, Mitch, because it would have to be in the middle, go to the bottom corner, and then jump up to the top.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking initially, but then I realized that it's not. That would be totally
All
out
right.
of-
A, final answer.
All right, let's do A. Let's see what it is.
Okay. Yeah.
I have the highest IQ.
We
Let's
did it,
go.
guys. We did it. We
Carry
got
the
it.
team on my back. What can I say? High IQ problems.
Bro, what the
See what it is me and Drake do all like the hard thinking, and then Mitch comes in with the insight. So it's a team effort.
Team
I
effort,
was-
guys.
Owen says
I wasn't
A.
gonna get it on my own, but neither was anybody else. Yeah, that's probably Owen,
It is definitely Owen.
and
It
I
says I'm lost.
definitely put it in
Owen.
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Used
You
up
can't
20
go from
bottles of
I'm
water.
lost to suddenly know it's A. Did he put it in after we said it?
Yes, definitely. It just
Okay.
showed up.
Definitely did.
It just showed up.
That was cool. That was a medium one, guys.
Yeah.
It is
that's
kind of
good.
fun though, using your brain like that. You know.
It's always fun.
Oh, you're supposed to use your brain?
Felt like gears turning in here.
All right. Well,
I
that's
didn't
it
feel
for
any
this week.
gears. Maybe that's my problem. I have no gears in my brain. Do you guys ever hear people say like, "Oh, it's making my head hurt"? And I'm like, I never experienced that. Maybe it's because I'm so smart. I've had headaches, but I'm saying I've never like had thinking about something that makes my brain hurt. Is that like a thing people literally experience, or is that just like an expression?
Yeah, it's the prolonged concentration.
I think people actually have their head actually hurts.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've just never concentrated.
I
on
think I've had it a few times.
Owen says his head hurts all the time. I believe you.
Well, everyone,
something. All right.
that's
Father's
it.
Day,
That's it for this week.
300. Let's go, Sparta.
Ooh, ooh.
And we'll
Alright.
see you back on 301.
Great.
Yep.
Breaking
See
off
you there.
into a new era.
Bye.
All right, guys. See ya. I'll hit it.
You hit it.
I'm
Hit it.
hitting it now. Bye.
Self-perfected, making things clear.